Welcome to Issue 5 of Sentinel Comics Live. I'm Christopher, the GM, and here with me today, I've got 3 delightful people here to play this game. 3 wonderful people. We've got Ray, we've got Maggie, we've got Craig. I'm excited to play this game with all of you. How are you guys doing today?
Super alive.
Doing good.
Feeling real present.
Great. What's the matter, buddy?
I'm dead. I drew this little picture of me dead.
Oh, here. I'm going to use the camera that I never use. I'll just use this one.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're going to make me go all blurry.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fine.
It's Adam's camera.
Yeah.
There we go. Actually, I should specifically do it here.
Yeah.
There you go. Because it says Adam and Starblight.
There we go. Ray wants to still be in the photo.
Good job.
So sad. That's me.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Well, I'm sure everything will be fine. So very sure.
We'll see.
You'll be fine.
So last time I died.
The good news is I have a new sword.
Can you hold it in your suit? Like with your suit?
Sure, why not?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
So I mean, his suit is made for picking things up and setting them down again. Like, how hard can a sword be? Right. So we're gonna go over the last few sessions real quick to catch everybody up. You've got your notes. That's good. That's good.
I can handle issue 4, guys.
We've got Paul in the chat. If you're in the chat on the live stream and you see Greater Than Games type it in there, it's Paul. He will answer your questions. He will communicate to me if any of you add any boosts to the bunch. As we're actually starting off, you have a +4 boost, Maggie. Or rather,
I do.
Violet Heart has a +4 boost from Z Spencer, is that it?
Z-Cipher.
Z-Cipher, that's right.
Yeah, which is probably spelled wrong, but...
I mean, nobody sees how you spell it.
Yeah, wrong. Would be half.
As long as you can pronounce it the way that Paul said it,
Yeah.
him reading from the spelling, I'm sure that it gets communicated properly. So yeah, you got to you got a +4 from last time because you ended the session with that and never got used, so you keep that. But just as a quick reminder, the way that the cheer thing works, we've got a little menu thing that shows that you can add bits, you can get bits by buying them, you can also get bits in other ways, like for free and somehow, I don't know how all that works. And then you can cheer amounts to give bonuses to different players, or even to me, the GM, to use against players. We'll see what happens there. So that is...
Hasn't he killed enough of us?
So far, technically speaking, no one has died.
I guess.
Except for an amulet that you guys were friends with.
Right,
Now you say poor amulet. Last week you didn't care.
Well, I mean, AI isn't real, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Are you? Okay, so that is, so yeah, rather than vaguely hinting about what happened last time, let's speed through the various issues. Who wants to start us off with talking about what happened in various stories in the past? Issue 1.
Issue 1, we fought a dragon, a newly hatched laser dragon.
Yep.
And so we set it free.
Yeah.
And then we went to...
But wait. Did you get swallowed?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I did get swallowed,
Starblight
yes.
definitely got swallowed whole by the dragon.
Yeah, but then you defeated it.
Right.
Yeah.
And he got out.
I got out.
We didn't defeat it.
No, that's true.
Not how you defeat it.
We set it free.
Upon an unsuspecting galaxy.
We unleashed it upon the world.
Oh, the universe. Yeah.
We saved the world.
Yeah, we saved
Sure,
Earth,
yeah.
a world.
You saved a world.
Yeah.
The
Yay. And then
We met
went
each
to-
other.
Real
we went
xenophobic
to-
here.
Yeah, we met each other. We went to Mexico City,
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
where there was like some magic stuff. And we're like, oh, what is this? To be continued.
Right.
Yeah.
So who wants to talk about what happened in issue 2? Craig?
So we went to Mexico City, and we found this magically reinforced tower.
Yeah.
And there were dark rituals happening in this tower. We were attacked by possums, the M-possum specifically. We
Just
were
the one, fortunately.
Yeah. If there had been 2, we were attacked by dust. I was attacked by floors
2 of them.
twice.
Yeah.
And then we encountered, I'm sorry, I don't unfortunately remember the names of the...
You were going to forget the most
Stygian, Inductor, and Tear were the Vandals.
Stygian, Inductor, and Terror, the Vandals.
Yes.
And so yeah, we encountered them.
Yeah.
They were doing some dark ritual to summon the Pepper Genie.
Yes, very impressive and totally cool and not at all.
Lame.
Yeah.
They summoned the Pepper Genie, and we squished him.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty inconsequentially. But we did have an impossum that was really
Came back?
hard.
Well, because you killed it the once, but it was just
Problem.
playing dead.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just playing dead. And then, Violet Heart almost died, and
Awesome almost got it.
Dynamo, my character, saved her.
Yep.
And then also Stella Nova grabbed an amulet that she felt was calling to her from a box, and teleported out with this because the building was collapsing about now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately did not take the box with her, only ended up with the amulet. And the amulet was there, and it was corrupted, and
Yep. Okay, so then what happened in issue 3?
So in issue 3, me and Maggie,
Violet
Heart, performed like some things on the amulet to get rid of that evil power that was connecting to it, and then the amulet was able to speak to her and tell her the former owner of the amulet was
Narienda.
I was getting there, Narienda. But and of the Night Cosmic.
I wrote it down.
Good job.
And so we used all of our powers, and we flew through outer space, and we came across this castle, and we saw that the castle had this evil entity around it.
Corrupted.
Yeah, it was corrupted. And we came across these little minion things.
Were they like small and yellow and spoke with weird, funny voices?
Yeah, they looked like little yellow things.
Godkins. Nope.
Oh, hey, I have art of all these things we've been talking about. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get out. Let's see. Art. Art go live on the art. Yes, okay. And so we had the laser dragon, and then you fought the laser dragon, and then you went in the magical tower, and then there were the vandals, and then we had the Pepper Genie. We don't have art in the opossum because that thing wasn't supposed to be as cool as it was. Then you have the amulet, and then you fixed the amulet. Ooh. And then you went to a castle, and the castle was corrupted, and you went into the castle via a lake. And then there were the Grimloids in the hallway, and they looked like this. And that's where you are. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. So we got through the Grimloids, and then we were in the Great Hall, and we were able to time travel back and see different points, different moments of the castle's destruction or what was going on then. And we were able to time travel back and forth to try to fix the situation with Sir
Narienda.
I'm just not going to be able to say it.
Let's go ahead and get that art off the screen and go back to looking at Ray while she tells the story. Thank you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
go ahead.
Hey.
You can put the art underneath my image there, where the Sentinel Comics logo is. Great. So you were talking to Sir Narienda, or you went and saw some history from Sir Narienda. Yeah.
From the destruction of the castle with the information on the laser dragons, and we were able to tell, put our energies back into that moment to try to change the situation. And we got out of that, and we came back, and we saw that the Great Hall was had computer screens and things.
It was no longer corrupted.
It was no longer corrupted.
Well, I mean, after you did all three of them, after you fixed all three, you managed to save the castle, and so then the castle looked like this. Oh, much better, nice looking castle.
Yeah. It's a good castle.
Okay, before we go to the next issue, Paul from the chat has something here.
There are so many bonuses.
Okay,
There's just a pile of
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some cataloging of bonuses right now, and then we'll get on to issue 5, which was last week's issue, and issue 4. This week is issue 5. Issue 4, which was last week's issue, and Maggie will tell us all about that.
Yeah.
But first, bonuses.
First,
Yeah.
Speedy Olrak gives a +1 to the GM.
Yeah, that's right.
Team
Yeah.
GM to Christopher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Then Sanvar gives a +1 to Adam to cheer him up,
Oh,
as he is only mostly dead.
Now hold on.
use it?
I was saying, what Sanvar? How's Adam supposed to use that?
Oh, we'll see. I'll hold it
Yeah.
until
You hold it to your next character. That's fine. Yeah.
come back
Okay.
from the
That's
dead.
good.
All right.
Then
gonna call out
Sanvar
everyone.
also gives Ray +1 to help save her friend.
Oh, that's good. Do you need another cheer card?
Yes, I do.
All right.
And then Westy RP Waters,
Westrup Waters.
Westrup Waters, gives a +1 to Maggie in hopes we see some glitter bombs.
Nice.
Nice.
You got it.
That's what we got right now. I'll let you know as there's more.
That's all right.
No.
I don't feel
No,
like that.
that's fine. Like,
You've got cosmic carnal knowledge to tide you
It's
over.
criminal knowledge. Criminal knowledge.
spoilers, you're getting ahead of us. That's not. We haven't talked about that yet. Actually, no, we did talk about it. Well, no, that we talked about the chronal knowledge from issue 3, but not from issue 4, because Maggie right now is going to tell us about that.
Yeah.
So Maggie, what happened in
Okay.
issue 4? You got your notes?
I got my notes. Top of the notes. Do not rip up. All caps, underlines. Do not rip up.
Let me see
You
your
Okay.
have to write it.
We don't show people.
Oh, the notes.
It's not good.
Oh,
It's
that's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notes.
Do not rip up.
Right there.
yeah. Well, you know, it's important to
won't
remember.
focus.
I'm glad you
That's
didn't
okay.
show the backside.
What's on the backside?
No.
No.
Yeah. Me and Greg pass notes sometimes.
Not allowed.
In issue 4, we at the end of issue 3, we were notified that there were laser dragons,
Right.
or a laser dragon, a big
big laser.
a big boy,
Yeah.
attacking a planet. And so there were tubes, and the amulet was like
There were
the
tubes.
amulet was in Craig's suit at this point. He had popped it into his suit. He had taken something out of his suit to pop it in, and the amulet was like, "Yo, Craig, not Craig. Yo,
Dynamo.
yo,
Benjamin
Dynamo.
Biltmore?
Benjamin.
Ben.
Yo, Ben.
Yo, Ben.
We just call him Jammin'.
You want to hop in these? You want to hop in these tubes and go down into who knows where and like fight these things." And we'd already seen in the past issue, when we went back in time to look at stuff for the McCastle, we already saw other knights go down in the tubes.
Yeah.
And they didn't seem to like die horrible. Like there's no screaming
No, you go down
involved.
the tube and then you get incinerated and then you get turned into a projectile and it's fired at a laser dragon.
Yeah,
So you guys
that's-
turned yourselves into ammo.
Exactly. So we jump in the tubes, and they're healing tubes, so they heal us all back to full energy.
Yeah.
And they even like repaired Craig's suit if there was any damage to that. It was really
great.
good.
Yeah.
And then there were robot suits downstairs for us, and everyone had a special one.
Yep.
And there's one. Yeah,
So-
that's
Yeah.
Sam's. That's Starblight.
Yeah.
And that is Stella Nova. And that is me.
Yeah.
And that is Dynamo, with mutton chops.
Yeah.
What's the coolest? They're all
Which
very
it says
cool.
Dynamo
What's the
gets
coolest?
mutton chops. Like that was a note. We can take lots of damage. That's what I.
That's true.
Can
Yeah.
take lots of damage. Craig's suit is called the Reactor. Dynamo's suit is called the Reactor.
Yeah.
There's also a lance ship. It's really neat, and it's right there in a hand. Yeah. And it can be steered by the amulet, so we had to take the amulet out of Dynamo's suit, put it into that to fight. And then it took us to where the laser dragons were, and the laser dragon grew really fast, consumes materials from planets. This one has eaten 3 planets. It's attacking Talvarus.
Talvalis.
Talvarus. And it's populated.
Tarvalis.
Flies through moons.
Yeah. Boom. Flies through a moon.
Oh yeah, flies through a moon. Yeah. Okay.
I like that you're just reading straight off your notes.
I am.
You're an amazing storyteller.
It's so good. Stella Nova at one point lost her orb, destroying the shield because there was a shield around the laser dragon, and so Stella Nova sacrificed her orb because she like hit it so hard the orb like flew back into space and like was taking forever to get back to us. I got to stab the heart with. Was Zesty Blood, my version of Zesty Blood, which was like the point of one of my arms. And so it was like a stabby arm thing. And it got infected.
You mean that it's the purpose of one of your arms? The purpose of one of your arms
was-
is to
no,
hold,
it's the
it's the
whole
point of
arm.
one of your
It's the
arms.
whole
The
arm,
point of the
though.
arm is to hold Zesty
The
Blood.
whole meeting.
the point and the point. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
All right, good.
Cool. So I stabbed it and I got to infect it, and that made its heart explode.
Yeah, normal stuff.
And then that helped weaken it. And Dynamo did not help anyone because time stuff, I roll.
Oh yeah.
Which is why you have cosmic chronal knowledge.
And was there any sort of negative side effects to you focusing on the time
A
stuff instead of
whole
something
bunch
else?
of people died. A whole bunch.
Listen,
Like,
The entire
I
space
kept-
station.
I
yeah.
kept debris from raining down on this planet
It's true.
at the expense of the space station.
Yeah, we could just talk about the whole like train
The lives
tracks,
of
one person
few.
tied to the train tracks, 10
Yeah.
people tied to the train
Yeah.
tracks, which switch do you pull? Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like
fun.
one switch for the one with the people on the train tracks, the other one with like hey, a book about something interesting, and you just go pick up the book. And,
Yeah, exactly. I
Okay.
saved the book.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
To be fair, we saved a planet.
There you go.
So, I mean, I'm just looking big picture.
Uh-huh.
So,
Gotta. You also there's three other planets that were destroyed that were well-populated planets because you let the
Listen,
we were there.
I don't
for
get to
those
live in the
though,
past.
so
I'm thinking about the present, thinking about the now.
Okay.
And
I don't
anyways,
know for sure that was our laser
Starblight got eaten by the dragon again, and from the inside of the dragon, he unleashed his blight matrix, right, and like kind of like crushed it. Was like trying to crush it and like push it out, and then
spikes
some
came
Yeah,
out.
Spike, you were
Yeah.
spikes. Yeah, you
turned
spiked
into
it
a
out.
hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Hedgehog.
Who crushed it? Who started doing that? Did it start coming in on itself? Was that a Stella Nova thing?
That was.
The final part about the dragon. That's the part where I'm confused because the next
There was
thing
like a
it says
whirlwind
is,
of energy that
yes,
he made.
yeah, you made like a whirlwind of energy, and that started crushing it in on itself.
Yeah, yeah.
And Starblight got sucked into a sword, probably to protect himself. Is my like
And yeah,
theory.
you killed Starblight as
and
well.
you killed
Yeah.
Starblight essentially.
You get
Which
double
was-
XP.
Yeah,
You get XP for killing the dragon and for Starblight. Wait,
then
there's no
it just
XP in
says
this
eaten
game.
again. So, but nobody ate the sword, so I don't know why it says eaten again. And then there's a heart balloon.
And is that where the issue ended?
And
The heart balloon?
the issue ended when we were like, okay, we need to take him back, so we took him back to the castle.
Who?
The sword that Starblight stuck in.
Okay. So you.
And we know that that sword was seen at this castle before because it was previously owned by not Nerienda, but the other one whose name escapes me right now.
Don't
But he
look
has
at me,
a
I
bunch of
didn't write
arms.
that
It was
down.
Sir Arton, right?
Arton.
Was Sir
yeah.
Arton.
A bunch of
well
arms.
I was gonna throw a red. Was it Sir Vortigern? And then you were like, yeah. I was like,
No,
it's
I
not
wouldn't
him.
have. I would have been like, no.
That's not what I
Vortigern
do
was
with
the
my
insect.
2-year-old.
I would
I'm
have
like,
known.
That is correct. Sir Vortigern was the
Is this an
insectoid one.
apple? No.
Yeah.
It's a pencil.
All right.
Friend.
So that's where we ended. We're back in the castle, ready to go. Now, before we continue, Paul has more things to say.
So Sambar decided to give a +1 to Craig so he isn't left out. Jeez. Everybody typed.
Thank you.
And then
Okay.
Renovantus gives a +2 to Adam
Oh,
from the
right.
tenacious Taffy Man.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
like
So that
that
you
is-
can rebound from this.
The affable taffy man.
Taffy Taffy.
Yeah, I'm going for the affable taffy man. That's my favorite. We've been workshopping that name for a while on the letters page. He keeps
good.
writing in letters, and we every time have
Yeah.
really useful suggestions for him.
I thought it was ambitious Taffy Man last
That
time I
doesn't
saw
make
it.
any sense. That's not in any way alliterative.
Yeah, I know. I'm just so sure that that's what I saw last. Okay, fine.
We got,
I thought I saw it on the Discord.
We got 3 hero points
Oh yeah.
last issue.
Yeah, we did.
Also.
Are you going to continue the trend?
How are you-
All in one
I-
basket?
All eggs in one basket all the time.
Yeah.
Why would you
likewise.
ever do otherwise?
I mean, there's various schools of thought.
This is the one school of thought. The way I think is the only way that anyone thinks.
Oh, all right.
Well, I will also insert myself into a sword.
Well. All right, so I think that we are ready to get rolling. One thing I do want to warn you guys about this time is that this session is going to be a little different. Each session we've done so far has been different from the ones that have come before it, in that we've seen new challenges and had new ways of doing things. And this one is going to be the same in that way. It's the same in that it's different. In that we are going to be I'm going to be a little bit more hands-off. I'm going to kind of set up situations for you. I'm going to tell you, here you go, and it's going to be really up to you to drive what you want to do with the situation. There's not a specific direction that I'm wanting you to go so much as I'm curious as to what you'll do with this place you found yourself in, this mess that you've made, whether or not it's your fault. And so, with that said, the 3 of you are in the castle. In the Castle of the Knights Cosmic. You just got into the cave there in the castle. You've got 1 remaining of the chargers, and it's pretty wrecked. It's got a handful of laser dragon bits, and it's got and it's carrying a tiny little toothpick of a sword. And then the three of you are out of the chargers because your chargers do not exist anymore, and your charger is not really operable. It needs some work. So right, what do you three want to do?
I think that me and Ray need to look at the sword. We all need to look at the sword, but like, I feel like it's a Mistable-esque issue.
Yeah, this is going to be, like, I am obviously wanting to be there for moral support.
Now? What? I'm sorry.
You sure you don't want to go do your sciences?
Yeah.
Off in your corner?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be that kid about it.
You're not there.
No, but that actually is what I'm gonna propose. I'm gonna propose that you examine the laser dragon bits while she and I examine the sword.
Like,
unless you want to stand around and watch us look at the sword.
that's fine. That's fine. I will, like,
Everyone
I will come rushing over and offer my services, knowing full well there's probably nothing I can do. Like, I can go boil some towels or something, because that's a thing that happens, right?
I'm sure
this
the
is like
sword's pretty
childbirth.
messy. Yeah. This is
exactly
like
the same.
childbirth. Yeah. That's exactly what I anticipate happening right now.
Yeah.
You never know. Ugh.
So you basically you tell me that you don't need me, is what you're saying, and I should go keep myself
do you
occupied.
agree? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go play with your toys.
All right, I will happily do that, but like, I can make rolls if you would like me to make any sort of rolls that are involved in like examining these laser dragon bits.
Where are you examining them? How are you getting them there? What are you intending to do with them?
Well, the first thing, I just want to check them out where they are right
Sure.
now.
They're currently being held in the hand of a charger that is standing in the lake area that's mostly broken down due to the ridiculous
high
amount
up
of
is it?
damage it took. It's several dozen feet off the ground, holding these laser dragon bits.
Are you still in the charger?
No.
No.
You can get back in the charger, but
Okay.
I can use my telekinesis to like bring down the parts.
is your telekinesis, you got a D6 telekinesis. What I'm saying is, something that weighs several
What's your telekinesis?
100 pounds is probably not a thing you can just like
Wait.
whoop down.
Well, maybe she can. She's got a D8 telekinesis. I'm just kidding.
So here's my question. Are you wanting to put a lot of focus and time right now into getting these laser dragon bits in a place where you can examine them? Is that the plan? Because it said a second
thought
ago
the
like
plan
you
was
were
trying
going to
to-
look
we want to look
at
at
the sword.
Yeah.
and he can
Not
do
use
whatever
brain powers
he's
to-
doing.
I'll go off and do my own thing. I can't get
Okay.
to those right now.
All right, I'm curious, but I want to know what you're doing.
So in that case, like, I will probably, because I don't really care what I'm doing. I have a lot of problems right now with all the lives that I
Same.
lost.
Sure, yeah.
Like, it is really
Big move.
like it's I am a defender, and it is directly through my actions that a bunch of lives were lost.
You need to go. You need some time.
I'm gonna go gaze into the void,
Yeah.
and that might mean like tinkering with the various equipment upstairs.
Sure.
And not learning a whole lot probably.
Sure thing.
But yeah, I will go off and tinker.
Go think about what you've done.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna see if the abyss gazes back.
Sure thing.
Like, basically.
All right.
Let's check this sword out.
Okay.
It's a tiny sword, so I'm sure we can just.
I mean, it's not that.
well, it's not that tiny, but like in the hand. Can we use our telekinesis to get it down?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just get the sword down. Sword
Yeah.
is liftable by a human person. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So
Okay.
just grab it. Just
You're gonna grab it with your hands.
No, I
She's
really
gonna touch
think
it?
I don't think we should touch
think
it.
you're
I'm
gonna
not. I'm not pro
Well,
touching
didn't I
it.
touch it before?
You touched it through the
You
suit.
have not.
I'm
No
not
one
in
has
the
touched
suit.
the sword.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not. You were in the suit then. You're
Yeah,
out of
I
the
was.
suit now. So I think that touching it is a bad plan. It seems like a not fun sword to touch.
Yeah.
So
Is that,
I assume we use our like one of us uses our telekinesis to get it down, so we don't have to touch it.
Sure.
Okay.
Never mind.
And then from there, I don't know. I guess we like examine it to see like if we can feel any magic coming off of it.
So it feels super magic. Like this sword is definitely a magical sword. It's got a lot of dark, evil energy, similar to the energy that you felt that was corrupting the amulet, that was animating the laser dragons, that was corrupting the castle. Like that's this sword all over. And
so why don't we try to The same thing that we did with the amulet.
Where we like magicked it. Yeah.
Magicked it.
I mean, is there a better way?
Yeah.
So one thing that you do feel is this feels super different from the amulet. The amulet and the castle both were sources of power that had some like purity to them that was very powerful. It was very like clean energy power that was then corrupted by an outside source. This doesn't have any of that positive feeling. There's not layers here. There's not, oh, something that was good that has then been corrupted. In fact, I'd like you to roll a check, an overcome, to see if you can like figure out, like, you were talking about like wanting to cleanse it. I want you to roll an overcome to that end, even though this does feel different.
Okay.
So build an overcome for me and tell me how you're doing that.
All right, I'll use my cosmic energy and my magical lore
Sure.
to see what's going on.
Sure,
with
sure. And you're in the green zone for this
I
evening.
am in it. So I got a D6, a D10, and another D10.
Is her thing
You just say
still down
D6 and
at
grab a
the-
D10.
I got two
something had
D10s
happened
and a
to her
D6.
that lowered her
None of
cosmic
those are
energy.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah,
last time.
yeah.
None of those are a D6.
That's a D12.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
they're
you go, friend.
switched.
Yeah,
That's why.
there you go, friend.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch these back.
Can't switch them on.
Yeah.
8, 7, and 2.
So 7 is your mid, so you succeed but with a minor twist. Let's talk about your success first, obviously. You're like, okay, hold on, this sword, like you're looking to try to cleanse it, and you're reaching out and just trying to feeling with energy, and as you're doing so, the sword starts to revert to what you realize is its true state. Much like when you cleansed the amulet before, you returned the amulet to its true state, and it was then glowing and beautiful.
Yep.
You return the sword to its true state. The gold of the sword, so Starblight has this golden sword he's been carrying, the gold disappears. It's the equivalent of a magical paint job. And truly the sword is silver and lined with lines of purple energy, and the sword looks much like the corruption that you've seen in other places before. And that is the truth of the sword.
Okay.
Can we feel any part of Starblight, like of Sam?
No.
Okay.
No, you can feel that like you can't communicate, you can't talk to, you can't reach any part of him, but you feel that this is like his last known location, sort of. You feel like an imprint of a remnant of him.
Yeah, like we're sure that this has something. Okay.
Sure is very strong. Sure is a very strong word.
Okay. I don't know. I'm a little bit afraid, like if we try and cleanse it, that like we'll like kill him or something. But also, I mean,
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm mostly kidding.
All right, well,
Just
I'm gonna
AI.
start
Yeah,
making a
sorry.
new character
He's not
over here where
AI. He's real. He's a real boy. But
you- Thanks.
so I don't know. Do you want to try and do that again, or do you think that there's like
There's absolutely no other way we can like.
You guys don't
him.
feel. You don't feel like you've learned, the sword now looks super different from before. That's not in any
that
way
is, yeah, it doesn't
startling,
change.
alarming, concerning. No. Good.
I mean, it is, but
Right. So you had a minor twist. I did not mention talk about the minor twist yet. So you had the. You did the thing where you had you cleansed the sword, or rather, you reverted the sword to its true form. And then there was a minor twist, and the minor twist doesn't really impact you in any way. You don't really notice any effect of this minor twist. Adam, I want to deal with subject C.
Okay.
And I
Subject C. Okay.
yeah, right. This is actually a little bit of C and a little bit of A.
Okay.
But it's as far as you're concerned, it's mostly C.
Okay.
And I want you to roll a defend check. Just build it for me.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and to defend by evasion, basically. So I'm going to use flight and finesse, and then my status die is green right now.
You're in the yellow zone.
Oh, I'm in yellow. Okay.
For environment reasons,
For these
not
purposes?
for
Okay.
not for health reasons.
Okay. Finesse and okay. So my mid is a 3.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's a really good roll.
Great. You take 2 damage.
Okay.
Oh, great. But we don't know that, obviously, like, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to you guys. Yeah.
Has
Kinda wanna
anything
touch
happened to
it.
my health since last time?
With your bare hands?
So you started at full health in here.
When you said
Upon
that, I
upon
pictured
entering the sword.
bare
Okay.
hands, bare paws.
Yeah.
So anyways, but I kind of want to touch it. I just don't, I mean,
Just see what happens?
just see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to touch it.
You're gonna touch the sword. Describe such a thing to me.
So the sword is like in front of us or
Mm-hmm.
it's somewhere near us.
Mm.
I'm going to just,
You just touch it with your hand.
yeah.
Okay. As soon as you touch it, your hand touches the handle of the sword, and you feel a pull on you. You feel not like a physical pull, but you feel like your very essence being pulled into the sword. You realize a part of a lizard brain part of the back of your mind, like kind of screams at you that to let go or to stop to not stop touching it. Do you listen to that part, or do you continue touching it? Do you let go of the sword, or do you continue touching it?
I let go.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, like,
Right.
so I can feel it trying to pull me in. I can feel it trying to do that. So that's probably a bad thing. So we probably shouldn't try touching it again unless we want to see if we can do something from inside the sword. Too.
Inside.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if our magic still works inside the sword. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, seems like a bad plan, right? Yeah.
You need to figure out how to get
We
him
should.
out of there.
We need.
Don't look at me.
We need Dynamo to come back. Dynamo, come back so we can all just brainstorm here. I'm sorry I yelled at you.
So, I don't know what sort of method you're using to communicate with me here.
I'll just shout. I'm gonna shout it.
Dynamo is up in the castle.
I have
You're down in
gone
the
up
lake.
into the
You haven't
castle.
ever
Am I
left
loud?
the lake? No.
I'm not. Oh, okay.
No, you're definitely not loud enough in a giant cavern of a lake to yell and have
There's gotta
somebody.
be some echo there.
Up in a castle.
Yep, but you're up in the castle above.
I'm just.
Have you been?
sorry.
Anyway, go ahead. All right,
Like-
do your thing.
Unless you are using some weird
Oh.
magic to communicate with me, you don't have cell signal here.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Ray's still technically.
And I
or
don't have a
Stella
cell
has
phone.
a leash on you still, so she could probably
You
pull
don't
you
know
back.
that.
Oh yeah, we don't, do we? Sorry.
The only person that knows that is Stella Nova.
Yeah.
We need walkie-talkies. Just such
Just
an
like
occasion.
old school hockey jockeys. They
Yeah.
work everywhere. Outer space and everything.
Do you want to go talk to Dynamo?
I don't know if we have any other, like, do you?
Yeah, we don't know what else.
Yeah,
to
I don't have like a good plan here because I'm kind of worried that if we try and do what we did before, that we'll like destroy it entirely since there's no good in it.
So let's see if Dynamo
Yeah. So we're gonna go up
can
there.
do anything
Great.
about
Are you
it.
going to bring the sword with you, or are you going to leave it down in the lake?
Let's bring it up. Like we can just telekinesis it with us.
Telekinesis.
In order to, so tell me how you're wanting to telekinesis it between the two of you in a way. Like, are you taking any precautions? Are you making sure it doesn't XYZ, or are you making sure it does XYZ? Like, tell me about this.
Stella Nova's her version of telekinesis is stronger than mine.
Sure.
So,
but what are you doing?
yeah, I know. I'm getting there.
Okay.
So I assume, and you can change this, stop this, whatever. I assume that you're the person who's actually using your powers to do it because I don't know that we can both work at the same time on it. Like, I don't know that it makes a difference if we do. I mean, power of friendship. I guess we could be holding it together. Like,
I can use my.
Sure, but what are you doing?
So we'll float it up first because there was a spiral. Was it spiraled?
Yeah.
So it can go just straight up essentially.
Sure.
And like we could float it up, set it down, and then walk up if it's like
Okay,
a
so you
challenge.
so you are willing to set it on the ground. You're like, this is my question.
Yeah.
Are you trying to make sure it never touches anything? Or are you like, oh no, it's fine if it hits the ground. It's fine if it incidentally touches us. Like, what are you taking any precautions? Or are
yeah.
you not taking any precautions?
It can't touch us.
Okay.
That part I know of. Like that part I've explained and said and we've
Yep.
talked about. Yeah. So we will take that precaution. I don't know. Are you worried about
I
it
don't think it
touching?
should touch anything else.
Okay. So we'll like be very cautious and make sure it's like floating the whole time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So are you wanting to do this on your own, or are you wanting to help? Because if you're wanting to help, you could roll using your telekinesis a boost for her,
Yeah.
and then she could roll for the overcome using your boost. That's a good way for you two to work together.
Okay. Yeah, I'll roll a boost for her. I haven't done a boost before.
Oh, have you not?
I don't think so.
Interesting. So build a die pool with your 3
Yeah.
die. So I'm going to say you got to use your telekinesis if you're trying to help with telekinesis.
D6.
And then what of your qualities are you using for this?
I mean, magical lore would make sense, but also I think maybe alertness would too.
Yeah, it depends on what your focus here is. Your focus trying to like contain the magic to the sword, or is it to like keep the sword from touching things, or is it?
I think we're probably, even though it's a lower die, I think we're probably more like worried, like stressed, like alertness.
Right.
So
Yeah.
my
Cool.
mid
So
is
you're
a 4.
So you have a +2, and you're given a +2. So you have a +2 on your effect die when moving the sword around, and you also have a +1 from Sanvar if you want to use it.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my telekinesis, which is a D8, and I'm going to use my magical lore to try to.
So you're specifically focusing on the magic aspects of it, not as much the Okay.
So she's
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
the
she
she
has
has the
covered.
alertness, and I have the
Great.
protection of the magic.
And you're in the green zone too.
And I am in the Z. Yep.
Are you going to use Sonoverse thing too?
Yeah, you have to declare it before you. Whenever you're using a boost, you got to declare it before you roll.
Okay,
so if you're,
so I'm
if you're using
using
Sanvar's, you've got
Sanvar's
+1 from Sanvar and +2 from you. So you have a total of a +3 to your effect die on this. And it's a good thing because you rolled a 2, 3, and a 6. A 3 would have been a fail or a major twist, but instead it's a 6, which means a success with a minor twist.
Okay.
So you are bringing up the stairs ahead of you. Describe how this looks. How are the two of you working in concert to make this happen?
So the sword is floating.
It's like, it's like in
going
front of
up
us,
this-
and we're like.
I want to know how
you
she's doing it.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so it's floating up the stairs, and it's going up the spiral stairs into that great hall.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's where you're heading.
Yep. And we're following closely behind it, watching after it, making sure it don't move around
Sure.
or touch anything.
And tell me, there's two different things here. You're getting a +2 from her, from Violet Heart's telekinesis, and also from her specific attention to detail here. You're also getting a +1 from Sanvar. How did those two things come into this story here? What is Violet Heart doing that's helping you out in this situation?
Violet Heart's boost is making sure that everything around is still and not.
So she's not just
making sure-
helping you lift the sword; she's also making sure that nothing comes out
moves,
of it. That's
yeah.
great. And then you have a +1 from somewhere out there. Are you feeling more resolute in doing this? Or do you have,
Well, we don't know exactly where Dynamo is, so
Sure.
in a way, the sword is also leading us to.
Oh, okay.
wherever
All right.
he is.
Sure. Excellent. And so you head to the Great Hall to put the sword there.
Yep.
You happen to be around the Great Hall, Dynamo? Somewhere nearby?
Like, if that was a specific thing that you were saying, is that, like, the sword was leading you there. So that's fine.
You're in the Great Hall, standing looking out the windows, contemplating the cosmos.
So honestly, like, what makes the most sense is that, like, I've probably stepped out of my suit at this point.
Yeah. Suits all.
It's powered down, and I'm like half-heartedly leaning over one of the computer screens and like poking at things just to see what happens. But that's not where my mind is.
Sure. So, Adam, you had a minor twist in your success, Ray, Stella Nova. But there's a minor twist. Don't worry about it. There's no adverse effects. Everything seems to be going fine.
Wonderful.
So,
That's what I like.
Adam, I have two questions for you.
Yes.
One is how you feel about taking 8 damage.
Not great.
Don't worry too much about that. And the other one is I want you to make an overcome check, Adam.
Okay.
Working on A.
Okay.
Working on subject A. I've got since I already mentioned this once, and the viewers at home, and in fact, nobody else at this table except for Adam and I know about this note card, this one note card that I have here, and Adam has 3 note cards, and they have the letters A, B, and C on them. And Adam and I, if I were doing a session like this, not on a live stream, when we got where we did last week, I would have paused the session and said, "Hey, everybody, grab some food, get some water, take a quick break. We'll come right back." And Adam and I would go off around the corner to have secret talks. So we had those secret talks before this time, just so he knows what's going on with him. So anyway. Issue A, how's that going? How's it going, buddy? Tell me how you want to do this.
Yeah, so...
And you don't need to be restrictive in your language.
Oh, I don't need to be?
No.
Okay. So I want to I want to turn and face the unknown.
Sure. Yeah. You're going to stand your ground.
Yeah.
You've been fleeing.
Right.
And you're like,
Yeah.
At this point, knowledge is more important than survival.
And I'm not the type to run.
Yeah.
That's not who I am.
Yeah.
Like,
You feel like you've been fleeing the entire time.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to focus on this and sort of reach into it with my mind a little bit. I want to use my intuition.
Okay.
And my deep space knowledge.
Sure.
For this, and then my yellow zone. Well, that's a 2. That's an awful roll. I rolled 5, 1, 2.
Wow, that is
That's a terrible.
genuinely
terrible
awful. Now, do you have
roll.
any bonuses from the chat? Because I think you have a couple.
I didn't use them before.
That's true. That's true.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I should have used them before, but I was like, oh no, this
Then
would
you'd
be
have
fine.
been in great shape if you'd done that. So here's my question.
Yeah.
Do you want to succeed?
Yeah. I want
Or
to
do you want
Give me that
to? Do
major
you want to
twist.
succeed at the major twist, or
Yeah.
do you want to fail?
Major twist.
All right, great. So
That's what's interesting.
So what you know is that you're successful in that you learn some things.
Okay.
But you still feel like there is some dark force, some dark entity that you don't understand that's behind what's pursuing you.
Mm-hmm.
But what directly has been pursuing you, and the thing that in fact has dealt you damage a couple times, is this pack of misshapen. I would call them blight hounds.
Okay.
That has been pursuing you through this twisted netherscape.
Okay.
And there's this. It's this like uncountable pack. It seems to be this like never-ending pack that are coming up and around the walkways as you go.
Okay.
And they're running ahead before this force that is clearly commanding them. And so that is what you were faced with.
Okay.
And the major twist is that they are going to grow in number and in fact attack you again.
Yeah.
And you take 3 damage. So
That's not so bad.
It really could be worse, but there are more of them than there were before. Anyway, so how are you guys doing back in the real world?
So
Starting getting real.
I'm very
Yeah.
depressed.
Mm.
I'm very angsty.
So you were hanging out, feeling depressed in
Yeah.
the Great Hall.
Mhm.
Just kind of, are you staring up at the stars? You're fiddling with devices.
I'm like,
counting ticker tape. How much ticker tape does your suit have left? It's got to be low. It used a lot.
I've used a lot of ticker tape, it's true.
Yeah.
But it's, we'll get into the ticker tape specifics later.
Sure, of course,
Um,
naturally. We'll do inventory. It's fine.
Another episode after this.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Where you just sit and talk about that.
Ticker tape inventory.
Yeah.
But no, I'm like kind of like I've figured out kind of the basic purpose of one of these consoles is
Sure.
so like I can move the view around on the galactic map or whatever.
Great. Love it.
But like, and so I'm occasionally like flipping through systems, but I'm not really paying any attention to what I'm actually doing. Like I flip to a new system, but like I'm not paying attention to what's on the screen.
It's like when you're scrolling through tweets.
Yeah, exactly.
And you realize I haven't been reading any of these.
Yep, exactly. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm mostly thinking about like reevaluating
Your life choices.
my commitment to the defense that I have pledged myself to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very fair. Very
Yeah.
fair. Okay. You two wander into the room, floating a sword ahead of you. Benjamin Biltmore is there, out of the Dynamo suit. The Dynamo suit stands kind of powered down off to the side. What do you do? What do you do with the sword?
is it weird for you to see him out of his suit? I don't think you've ever seen him out of his suit.
Yeah.
Are you like?
He's been out of his suit.
I
Yeah,
got
did
dressed
you?
on the plane.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. I was gonna be like,
No, you might not have seen me.
I don't think that she did.
I don't
You
know.
have been out of the suit a couple of times over the course of this,
But
but it
we
doesn't
were-
necessarily mean you were in the same area.
Yeah,
as
I don't know
Stella
that
Nova.
you've seen me out of my suit.
But Stella Nova has been
In your brain.
in your brain
Yeah,
very connected
that's
to you,
true.
so
Yeah.
it's.
It would have
yeah.
just been funny if you were like, gross,
You've
what
seen
just
me-
happened to him? Why did he take off his skin? So I guess we fill him in on everything that's happened. Like that, what we have learned, that like we're worried about it touching things, that it still seems very powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah, Benjamin, you see they're floating the sword before them, and it looks like the same shape as the sword that your ally, compatriot Starblight carried, but this sword, rather than being that shining golden hue, is instead a silver sword streaked with lines of purple energy, and it kind of like radiates sinister energy. So, yeah.
Do we know what has happened to the wielder of the sword?
No. I mean, no, we don't. We can kind of, like, we know that this is the last place that he was at, and, like, we can sense that, but we don't even feel him in the sword, right? So,
Yeah.
that is accurate. Yeah. So, no. We don't, but we know that it's, like, this is the last place he was at. He might maybe, like, be attached to it still. We don't know that he's gone, I guess.
It's the only lead you've got.
Yeah, it's the only lead we got. So we're running under the assumption that he is stuck in the sword, potentially.
And we know that if we touch the sword, there's a possibility that we could
Also get, yeah.
pulled into.
I grab the sword.
You barehanded?
Yep.
Great. So as you touch the sword, you feel yourself, you feel something deep inside you getting pulled away from you and into the where your hand contacts the sword.
This is the only lead that we have toward what amounts to a new friend.
Sure.
And this is another defense that I have failed at. I have one last chance.
So you feel it pulling. Do you let it happen? Do you lean into it? Like what is your reaction?
I'm gonna resist.
Okay.
Because that's instinct.
Sure. Yeah. You draw back.
Yeah.
Do you let go of the sword?
Nope.
Okay. So you're trying to draw back, but you keep your hand on the sword.
This is instinct versus intellect.
Sure.
Here, and like I know what I need to do. I have a resolve.
All right. So as you like you feel yourself recoil, but you keep your hand on the sword, with a faint pop of air, Benjamin Biltmore is no longer in the room, and the sword clatters to the ground because he had reached out. You had it floating for you. He reached out and he was grabbing at your hand, and just in the process of holding it, as he lets it go, there is now nothing holding it up. It clatters to the ground, and the two of you are alone in this room.
Does anything happen when it hits the ground? Like, does it affect the castle at all? Okay.
That's good.
I was like, another corrupted castle. The castle too disappears.
Castle gets sucked.
You don't see anything happen when it touches the ground.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I can live with that.
That is such an old GM trick.
Yeah. I can live with it though.
You detect no traps. You see nothing in the room with you.
Okay.
Well, that just happened. I don't know this, so never mind. I can't talk about it.
Well, that connection that I had to him, can I still?
Oh God.
Okay.
That's scary.
Snipped it.
As he grabbed the sword and as he disappeared, you're like, I can't see him anymore. Also, I can't detect him. You've had a leash. You've had you knew where he was and how he was doing all the time, and now he is beyond your reckoning.
Yikes.
So maybe we should just go in a sword too.
I mean, what's the worst
Or
thing?
maybe I'm dead.
Look, the two people at the table that are probably the most okay with me saying, you gotta re-roll before next week, are no longer in this room.
I mean, let's just do it, right?
So we're gonna be playing all new characters for the in-person
Oh my God, we
game.
have to return so much stuff. But it would solve another problem. Shut up.
I like the idea that what I tell you is that, like, oh no, going into the sword, it keeps you exactly the same, except that the entire color scheme of your outfit is permanently forever changed. So you still have the same outfit that you got to put together for Gen Con, but you have to do a new color scheme now.
That would be so funny.
I just grabbed
I would
the
die.
color sliders in Photoshop and went, woo, these are your colors now.
Oh, that would be so funny.
Pearson Brown.
I'm glad you feel positive about that change.
I like my colors a lot. You're gonna make me like orange or something.
You're already kind of orange.
Yeah.
Well, like the skin's tan. Yeah, orange. But like, anyways.
What do you want to do?
Do we? I mean, I think we should just touch it. I think we should just try and do it.
I do too.
All right, let's together. Grab it.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do it together.
Yeah,
Together.
Okay. So you touch the sword together. You're sucked into the sword, and you appear inside the sword. But you're now morphed into one horrifying creature: 2 heads, 4 arms, 4 like twisted. One of you's facing one way, one slightly turned a different way. That's not what
That would
happens.
be cool.
I've got a boost from the chat. Paul, what's going on over there?
So Dynamo's going to get a +1.
Yeah. From
+1 for everyone. This is from Renovantus. For everyone's favorite electric hero, in honor of his crushed attempts at doing things before.
Who's that from again?
Renovantus.
Can you spell that for me?
RENOVANTAS.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
All right.
you.
Okay, so touching the sword. You feel as your hand comes in contact with the sword, you both individually feel something inside you drawn towards the sword, drawn deep, and you two feel more than anyone else the negative, infernal energy of this sword, and you were being drawn towards it. Do you
Let's like
respond or react?
make eye contact and just be like, yeah.
Like, let's do this.
Let's just do this.
All right.
Make eye contact.
All right. You know, I have had total party kills before, but I've never had one where the party just like willingly walked into the death trap. That's
Walks into a
that's
woods.
This character and what you are.
How do we don't know that they're dead. Like we don't know that they died. And like I'm good with going
No, it's great.
deep. Let's just jump into the
It's good.
sword.
It's good. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. On the screen, we put the arch where you go into the sword and you awaken in a realm of
Dragons.
you awaken in a realm. You look down. You are yourselves. Benjamin
in the
Biltmore, you arrived there. I'm gonna talk about you first. In fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about you.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna talk about you two.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna talk about you.
Okay.
So you enter into this realm. In fact, let me put this. All right, yeah, that's cool. You enter into this place of twisting stairways and passages, all built out of cascading silver and purple energy.
Yeah. Never heard of Escher.
Right. That's possible. And sure enough, in that sort of sense, like if you're like as you move around, gravity is weird. The stairs are weird. Sometimes you feel like you're walking downstairs, but no, actually you're walking up the stairs, or I guess you're walking across a wall. But you feel also in some way confined to these stairways. That as you are moving, that like you feel. Kind of like a video game character when you're walking along one of those ledges, but it's a ledge that you can't fall off of. So you're playing a video game, and you're like, oh no, I don't feel like I'm gonna fall. I don't feel like I can look over the edge and see this infinite fall below, but I can't leave this walkway. I can look and see there's another walkway that's just like 5 feet that way that I should be able to jump onto, but you cannot leave this walkway. This is where you can be. This is where you can exist. You're outside of the suit.
Okay.
You're just. Benjamin Biltmore without the suit. So and this is where you are.
So
you look around and you see no other living, moving entities, but you feel this sense of. You feel like you're being watched, and you feel that hairs on the back of your neck that you're being followed. That there's something nearby, but no matter how you turn to look for it, you cannot quite see it.
So, like. The first thing that I would do, and like I already know the answer out of character to this question, but the first thing that I would do is like look around. Do I see any signs of someone passing this way recently?
Sure.
And I'm assuming I don't.
Yeah, no, you don't. But but you feel like you should because as you walk and as you take steps, you leave steps in dust, in a silvery dust on these stairs. You leave footprints in the dust behind you. As you turn and walk. Do you walk much? Do you travel very far? Or do you just like stay in one area?
I'm just getting a feel for the place right now.
Sure.
I guess like I can look around and I can see all of this, all of these places below me and presumably above me as well.
Yeah.
Do I see any movement anywhere?
You never see it. But you feel like you just missed seeing it, or maybe it just was moving right before you looked at it, or as you look away, something starts moving. But if you look back, there's nothing there to see.
Okay.
You never quite catch it. Or them.
Well,
or
it or
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, okay. My next step is just like I have exhausted all of my options, and a mini-sided coin flip is not the best thing to do at this point because that could lead me down a wrong path for an infinite amount of time, as far as I know.
It's fair.
So I'm gonna call out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just hello.
Great. I'm gonna leave you there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you two enter into the sword scape inside the sword, and you find yourself in this bizarre land of stairs and darkness and purple energy and all the good stuff. Good stuff. And while you look around and there's no one here, there's nothing here. You feel like there's something that's watching you. You feel like you're almost catching something moving, but you don't quite see it. You see no sign of your friend Starblight, Sam. You don't see him anywhere. Nor do you see Benjamin Biltmore anywhere. You see each other. You're right there. You're next to each other on the stair. You're not folded together in some sort of horrible flesh creature. That didn't happen.
Like an impossible.
But you both are there. And as you look around, you see nothing.
Can we still use our magic? Can we
Sure.
feel if we can use it? Okay.
Yeah, you still feel appropriately magical.
Okay.
Yeah, we should use
That-
or some type of sense to see
Yeah.
if we can pick up anything in any direction or.
Yeah.
While you guys are talking / thinking about this, the two of you, and unrelatedly you, hear a voice come echoing off of walls that aren't there. This is a very reverb, echoey voice. It's like it echoed down several hallways to get to you, and as a result, it's somewhat garbled, and it shouts, hello.
And okay, you probably couldn't recognize it because that'd be.
It seems like it maybe could be from your friend Benjamin Biltmore, but man,
Yeah.
my version of it there sounds about as much like it does as Benjamin Biltmore's voice because it's so distorted by unreality.
Could I try using presence and magical lore to see if we can feel our
Sure. Yeah, go for it. Do an overcome for that. That
Okay.
sounds great.
So presence is a D6, magical lore is a D10, and I am at a D8. Oh wow, that was really bad.
So do you want to succeed? You rolled a 1, a 2, and a 2. You are following down the footsteps of. This is what happens, by the way. I
should've
rigged all your
declared-
dice. Anybody
I should've declared
inside
some
the
stuff,
sword.
yeah.
You definitely could have used all these.
I know,
You got
I know.
giant collection of boosts.
Yup. I'm feeling it right now.
I just want to make sure that you feel like you messed up.
I did.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Is
friend.
there anything I can do to reinforce this?
Right? Yeah. No,
You
but
killed people. Shh.
you know what?
I just rolled poorly.
That's on everybody's head. So anyway, do you want to succeed with a major twist, or do you want to fail?
How do you feel about this? You're right next to me, so it might affect you if there's a major twist.
Let's do the major twist.
All right, major twist it is.
Love it. I
I
love
like
it.
it. Too far.
That is great. That is fantastic. So, good. That's very good. So you, and I get a +1 to that from Speedy Olrak. Speedy Olrak.
I know where to find you all of Gen
That
Con.
is so good. You're gonna. I think you're really gonna be pleased, Speedy Olrak, with how this presents itself. So you reach out with your mind. Hold on, I just gotta keep writing things here.
I'm not there.
While you're writing, I would like to share with you
Are
this
you
entire
there?
discussion from the chat.
Okay, so hold on.
Just really
Trevor, if Paul's microphone's not on, make sure it is, because Paul is going to share the entire discussion from the chat. This is going to make for riveting television.
It is. There's just a really good discussion about how the floors are obviously the nemesis of Dynamo,
That's
and
true.
whether or not that now that you're in this place that is all floors,
Right.
that's really bad, or maybe the floors are the nemesis of your suit, and that's concerning. And what they finally determined is that floors are your classic nemesis, but stairs are a bunch of mini floors, so they're your vengeance style nemesis.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I like it. I like
So
it.
many floors. That's true.
All right, so the two of
good.
you,
I like
you're standing there and you're reaching out, trying to feel like, where did this voice come from? How can I understand anything about this place? And as you do, you feel a ping on your magical radar that where you are is where Benjamin Biltmore is. You guys are in the same place. He's right there with you. You're in the same place as him. It's not that he's far away. It's that he is disjointed from you within the blightscape here inside the sword. And as you do so, you reaching out with your mind seems to draw towards you some things, some entities that are attracted by the psychic reachings that you're doing, the magical searchings. And as you do this, out from underneath the stairs crawl these 5-legged beasts that are these weird, twisted blighthound creatures. 8 of them, because I rolled a 7 and Speedy Alright gave me a +1. 8 of them crawl out from underneath the walkways and crawl up onto the walkways and are looking at the two of you, and they're advancing on you, and they're snarling, and they're looking purpley and silvery, and they're dripping purple ooze from their silvery teeth, and their eyes unblinkingly stare at you, and their tails lash as they step forward on their purple clawed feet, coming up at you. They look real friendly, real cuddly. They just want to hug.
Do I see them?
You do not.
Okay.
I will come back to you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Starblight,
Yeah.
hanging out, you're doing your stuff.
Right.
You
I've got a beach chair.
Yeah.
I've got a daiquiri.
Sure. So you're hanging out
yeah.
in this place, which
Right.
you have been in now for both some time and also no time. It feels weird. The passage of time is very difficult to feel, to sense.
I've been here all my life, but only 5 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very, very correct.
Yeah.
And you are. You had turned and looked at these things, and it was these blighthounds.
Yeah.
They're behind them in the darkness, something you can't see, you can't look at, is some dark force that is spurring them on.
Yeah.
And then you hear a voice, a muffled, echoey voice shout, "Hello, hello, hello, hello." And with that, the blighthounds all like look up and they look around. And then a couple seconds later, you feel the dark force that's back behind the blighthounds. The blighthounds are between you and this force, and this force is back there, and you feel it turn and look some direction, which is weird because you didn't feel like it had a facing. And yet it clearly like turns and looks off and emits something between a whistle and a shriek.
Okay.
And all the blighthounds run off the sides of the walkways and like loop around the walkways, underneath the walkways, and are gone. There's no reason they should be able to walk under the walkways and then just be gone, but they are.
Okay.
And the dark force kind of like retreats, but you still feel its presence.
Okay. Okay. What do I feel about the structure of this place? Is it shifting? Is it
Yes. You are
static,
at this
or is
point.
it-
You're feeling very confident that the structure is shifting.
Okay.
You never see it move. You never see anything change. It seems
Okay.
when you're looking at it, it looks like a photograph. It's just everything is deadly still.
Yeah.
But whenever you interact with it in any way, you turn and look behind you. You're like, that wasn't the way it was. But now that I look at it, it looks like that's the way it has to have always been.
Okay. And do I get a sense that whatever is controlling these things is also controlling the rest of the world that we're in?
You know what? I want you to roll an overcome for that, and I want
Okay.
you to use your blight matrix
Okay.
as part of that overcome. I don't care about the rest of it, but I want you to feel,
Okay.
to innately
Then I'm
feel
gonna
with the
use
blight matrix.
Deep space knowledge with that also.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
And where am I at here? Yellow still. Okay. All right. Okay. 5 is the mid on that.
Great, fantastic, great. So you feel like the dark force that is pursuing you is not of this place.
It's not of this place.
That this place, that the Blighthounds
Yeah.
are, and the Blighthounds are a part of this place like the walkways, but there's some malevolent force that has it out for you that is different.
Okay. All right. I know what I want to do.
Okay.
All right.
All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put us into initiative now.
Okay.
So what you did for this turn is you watched some things happen, and you.
Yeah.
At this point, we're going to act like no one has acted in the scene except for you. You
Okay.
just took your first turn.
Yep.
The only actors in the scene are the three of you and the Blighthounds currently.
Okay. I'm going to take it to Dynamo then.
All right.
Okay. So as far as I know, just nothing has happened. Correct?
You got there. You said hello.
Yeah.
You heard your voice echo around, which is weird. There don't seem to be any walls. It should just like dissipate out into space, and yet it echoes back to you as if you were surrounded by hard enclosures.
Yeah.
And there was no reaction whatsoever to that.
Okay.
You feel like singularly lonely.
Yeah. So can I use? So I obviously don't have access to a lot of my powers. Right?
Yeah, right. And I mean, and there's some of them that I think you could consider like reduced a die size, but other things they'll just be like
I can just I am fully expecting that I do not have access to my power suit power,
Right.
my vitality power,
Sure.
my strength power, or my momentum power.
Yeah, that's fair.
I definitely still have access to my lightning calculator power. 'Cause
That's your brain.
innate.
Yeah.
And I could see an argument being made that I might have reduced access to my inventions power,
You have access.
depending on things that I might carry on myself.
So for you, for right now, you have lightning calculator, and you've got inventions at a D8.
Okay.
And of course, you have anything at a D4. Like D4 is always a catch-all. And as for your qualities, I'm going to go ahead and say your qualities are the same, even though one of your qualities is close combat. It's not a particularly high die in the first place. And close combat with your suit isn't about using your suit for close combat. It's about you know how to
knowledge.
fight.
Yeah.
Not great, but
Yeah.
some.
Okay.
And so your qualities are the same. You've got lightning calculator and a reduced inventions.
Okay. Okay. So this
And
is,
if it comes up, we'll talk about abilities.
this is all to say I'm feeling incredibly uncomfortable right
Yeah.
now, and I want to put myself on guard. And so I'm going to do. I want to start moving in a direction because I have to do something.
Sure. I want you to make an overcome check
Okay.
using lightning calculator about the way you see yourself here in this Blightscape.
Okay. So definitely lightning calculator. And the way that I see myself.
Right. What is your self-image?
Well, it's not good right now.
Sure. But like, what is your default? Go ahead and if you don't have a, do you have a quality that you're thinking about here?
This is my overriding feeling that I think about myself is that I always think of myself as ahead of my time, even though I'm behind the times.
That's great.
And so I'm going to use that as the quality I'm rolling here.
Yeah.
And I'm in my green status.
Yep.
No,
you're in the yellow zone.
Yellow. Because of the environment.
Yes, the environment itself is in the yellow zone.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to, this is my overcome. And you did curse us, didn't you?
And you have boosts that you could have used. Yeah, all right, listen here, chat. You're doing a great job. You're giving them boosts. They don't want those boosts. When you give them, hold on. When you give boosts to me, like Speedy Ulrich did, I use them to further the story, make these stories. When you give them to heroes, they ignore them, they discard them. They don't want your help, but I do. I appreciate your help. Come to me, boosts.
Without using the boosts that I had.
So far, this one.
Technically have.
So far, this is. Anyway, go ahead.
So my mid is a 3.
All right.
On this.
Would you like to succeed at a major twist, as your compatriots have done, or would you like to fail?
I'm going to succeed at the major,
my God.
twist.
It's delightful. It's
I'm all
delightful.
about the major twist.
It's delightful.
Yeah.
That's delightful. You succeed
Uh-huh.
at your self. You're thinking about like, oh man, if I had the Dynamo suit, I could do this and I could do that in this place. But here, I guess I'll take a defensive stance to be aware of what's going on around you. And you bring your hands up and you enter into what would be a defensive stance. And as you do, you feel yourself entering into a defensive stance in the Dynamo suit. And as you look down, you realize you're wearing the Dynamo suit.
Okay.
The Dynamo suit is as much of a part of you as it is a mechanical thing that you've built.
Okay.
And so you are in your suit.
Okay.
You're here in the space, in your suit with access to all your powers, all your abilities. Everything is back to normal.
Okay.
And you've been noticed.
Okay.
You feel that there is this dark force of some sort. Actually, this is more accurate. That has been like observing as you've been here, and as you realize yourself and realize your own self-image, so too does this realize, and some dark entity that you can't really get a fix on, you can't quite see it, you can't quite interact with it, appears behind you and strikes at you, slashes at you somehow. And where is my notes? We'll use that, and we'll use that, and we'll use that. And right. What is your status die right now?
I'm full health, so I'm in green, except for the yellow.
What is your status die right now?
Oh, D8.
Thank you. Paul, do you have a note from the chat?
Yeah, I do. There's a +1 for Christopher from Renovantis. After the
Renovantis.
betrayal of not using my kind boost from the terrible Taffy Man.
You see, Renovantis.
It's coming.
Renovantis, thank you. Thank you for that boost. That +1 that you'd given, I believe you gave a +1 to Greg. If he'd used it, he would have had a minor twist and he wouldn't be in the situation. But that +1 you're giving me, I'm going to use it right now. So, and I'm going to put it on the max die that I'm rolling.
Like I had to do it.
So I rolled a 2, a 7, and a 7.
Oh.
So a 7 is my max die, and as a result, you feel this thing slice at you for 8, and it's a infernal damage. It's an 8. It's 8 blight damage that it slashes at you with, and then also you are hindered.
Okay.
As the slice, an 8, man, that goes. See, if it were the 7 that I'd rolled, it would be a -2. But because of Renovantis, the 8 makes it a -3. And this one isn't persistent, is it? No. As it slashes at you, you feel where you are cut, where your suit is cut by it. You feel a part of that connected down to the ground. And you feel energy, blight energy. This is the first time you've seen the landscape do anything, and in response to you being damaged by this dark force, it like the draw that you felt when you held the sword outside the sword, you feel this draw from the ground, and this wound that you have, you feel yourself being drawn into the ground, or maybe the ground drawn into you. It's not clear.
So I feel pulled to the floor, is what you're saying.
The floor is attacking you.
Okay.
And that's what that -3 is there.
Okay.
All right. And so that was your turn. This is now a thing that is in the, and that is not that kind of. That's still a thing that's pass-toable. It has not taken its turn.
Okay.
That was all from your major twist.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what's happening with Stella. I don't think Stella has done a whole lot down here so far.
So we don't feel that dark force, or do we?
You feel that there's something here. So up until very recently.
Yeah.
So when you first came into this place, you were looking around, you saw the stuff, and you saw the things, okay, great. And you felt this place was like creepy and big and weird, but not that you were like being watched or that there was some thing hovering over you or anything like that. Then, after the hello was shouted out and the Blighthounds came to visit you, you felt this dark force, this dark, unseeable, undetectable force, but that was like oppressive, but not interactable near you, and you both felt this. And then just now, something happened, and that dark force went away, but the Blighthounds are still here. And so you no longer feel that the dark force is there. Similarly, Adam, unrelatedly, you also feel like the dark force is not there lingering on the edge of your subconscious anymore. It seems to be gone. But
That's interesting.
it is, so you don't feel it, you don't feel it, but you don't have any Blighthounds, so you're feeling pretty good, Adam. Congratulations. You two Blighthounds, you've got 8 of them, and they're Little poppies.
Is her orb with?
You got her orb. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lunar orb's there.
Okay.
I'm going to use my lunar orb.
And you are in the yellow zone if it matters. Just so you know, the environment has. I wrote this card out as if the environment had a green zone, and I just crossed it off. Really, I should have just written it out without a green zone. That is more thematically appropriate to this place.
Is it possible to use my lunar orb to attack one of those, but to alter that attack?
To hit more than one. You can always, so not to use your lunar beam ability, but to use just a basic attack using your lunar orb if you want, to hit multiple targets by taking a risky action. This is a thing that we've talked about before, that you can take a risky action that you modify an attack in some way, or modify an action in some way where you're like, oh, I'm going to attack but also boost, or I'm going to attack but hit multiple targets, or I'm going to attack but use my max die, like little tweaks like that. And when you do a risky action, after that action resolves, you get a minor twist. So you can definitely do that. Do it. Do it.
Yeah. Do it. Yeah, I'm going to do that.
So you're going to send that orb out.
I'm going to use the beam from the orb to strike at one of the minds of the Blight Hounds.
Okay.
And that Blight Hound is, I want it to either lead the other Blight Hounds off the edge.
Oh, I know what you're trying to do. Okay.
So you're trying to make them run off the edge?
Yeah,
She
like
wants to control one of them, right? Like a little bit.
Yeah, but and then try to, I don't know. Maybe it's not an attack.
Like control the leader of the pack and like get him to do something to make the other ones leave.
So you don't feel like there's a leader of the pack. You could certainly shoot one of them, the one that's in the front or whatever. You can shoot one of them, and as part of your attack, take this risky action to say you're going to attack it. Although, are you trying to deal it damage as part of this? Or are you just trying to convince it to leave?
Convince it to leave.
Okay. How are you going to convince it to leave? Like, are you trying to control its mind?
I'm trying to control its mind because my thought is that they're a group of hounds. They're going to follow one of the other. They're going to follow each other.
There is certainly something that is leading them and telling them where to go, and it is not any one of them. You can because you reach out with your mind, and you're like, okay, I'm going to find the one of these that's the leader, and I'm going to convince it to do a different thing that's it. And you're like, oh man, all 8 of these are followers, and they are doing exactly as they've been commanded. Yeah. They have been received very express commands, and they're going to follow those commands. So you could attempt to do the thing you're doing, and like drive one of them off and hope the other ones follow, but you don't feel very confident in that ability. I would certainly let you try, but
could she go for could she go for the thing that's controlling them? Can she do that?
It doesn't seem to be.
Okay.
We don't.
Like there's no way there. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll control the mind of one.
To do what?
To alter its attack to the whole group.
Okay. So are you? Explain to me what you're trying to do here. You're controlling the mind of one to alter its attack to the whole group? What does that mean?
To, I guess, bite through, or...
So you want one of them to turn and bite all 7 others?
Yeah. Because I can't control the mind and make them...
Right. Do you want to just use your lunar orb to shoot all 8 of them?
Well, I can't do that, right?
Sure you can. That's the thing that I said at the beginning. You can totally use a risky action to to make a basic attack using a power, quality, status, and say, I'm going to hit all of those with that, and a risky action, you'll take a minor twist.
Okay.
Because like there's no the thing that you're talking about, like, oh, I want to control a minion or something. There are specific abilities that can definitely do that, and those are like outlined in the options and everything. Whereas you don't have a specific ability that can do that. So we could try to come up with something here, but controlling one and saying, hey, attack all 7 of the others. That's a big ask that is not a standard ability that anyone has. Okay. So, but if you want to just blast all 8 of them, I'm all for that. That sounds great.
Let's do that.
Okay,
Using
great.
My lunar orb.
Use your lunar orb.
My magical lore.
Sure. Gonna blast him with lunar magic, and you're in the yellow zone. So you use your yellow zone die. And do you want to use any of your boosts? You don't have any boosts. You used your boost
Yeah.
from Zonbar, so you don't have any right now. Great. All right, so wow, that's fantastic.
Wow.
You roll an 8, a 9, and a 9.
It's the first decent
We had a 1, a 2, and a 2. We had a 1, a 2, and a 2. We had a 3 over here, and now we got an 8, 9, and a 9. So you have a 9 going against 8 of them that rolled d8s. So they roll their d8s, and you just destroy all of them. Describe what this looks like.
Oh, yay.
What
So
happened?
I let out a beam, right? And it just goes, everything goes white around it. And this beam is quiet, it's silent. You just see this big glow of light in the whole, in the whole like staircase and the stairways. And they just disappear, poof.
All right, so this beam comes from the lunar orb,
Yep,
fills up the whole space,
Not a sound. That's
not
cool.
a sound.
gone, nothing. It's just you two standing there. There's no dark force lingering over your shoulder. There's no Blighthounds. It's just the two of you. It's like the
Just
Blighthounds
act
were
like
never
that-
there.
You just act like that was a normal thing for you to do.
Now there is a minor
Like
twist.
this. Okay.
Do you have a minor twist from your principles that you want to use here?
You can hit me with one.
I love it. One of your minor twists from your principles is what unintended
Intended
ripple
ripple?
did your action have? And like,
Maybe
man, let me
that
tell
one.
you, that definitely there is an unintended ripple from that action. Dynamo, you are standing there, and you feel more than see a flash of light. It's almost like when your eyes are closed and you feel that flash of light even though your eyes are closed.
That redness.
So you feel that, and pop up just right all around you are these 8 hounds that all of a sudden burst into existence around you, and they're all like, huh? 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 And they're all super confused.
So am I. Neat. This is fine.
They're all hindered to the value of the attack that they received from Stella Nova, so they have been removed. You definitely destroyed them where you are, but they are now there with you. But they are all like greatly hindered.
Okay.
So
Oh, neat. Thank you. Thank you for the gift.
and
All right.
they're actually going to act as if they've been tried. So people that are left that you can pass to include Violet Heart and this weird dark force that's somewhere that you don't know about.
I don't know about it. Violet?
You can still pass it.
Yeah.
You, the player. But I mean, either way.
You pick me? Okay. I think first we like high five, right? That was a pretty stellar move. Yeah. I think
Jokes.
so. Well, I was going to use a glitter pump. Now I don't have to. Let's see.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. I guess like we've learned that calling out, trying to reach out, bad plan, not a good idea. So.
I mean, mostly because you guys have been rolling really poorly whenever you've done so.
Yeah, let's do it again. No, I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, I don't have anything else to do, so I didn't think of anything else, and I don't really think that we should move because like maybe we probably moved around a little bit, like walked a little bit, and we can see that like our footprints are leaving, like we are leaving footprints,
Yep.
and therefore there's nothing, like no one's been here before us that we can see out in front of us because
When the Blighthounds disappear, you notice that there were no footprints from where the Blighthounds were.
creepy little Blighthounds. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out again, but this time I'm gonna use my cheer bonus from last time from Z Cipher. I put it out. Put on
So you have a +4.
+4.
So go ahead and
This
cross
is
that
gonna-
off.
yeah.
So, yeah. Got a +4 from Z Cipher.
Yeah.
And in what way are you reaching out here? When you say reach out.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I have an idea. Do I have Dusty Blood with me still?
Of course.
Yeah. Can I touch it to the, like, you know how sometimes when I...
It's not dripping blood. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Oh my god. Ugh, there'd be bigger problems. You know how it drips blood.
Would there be bigger problems? That's the biggest problem is that, oh no, my drippy blood dagger's not dripping blood.
It would be a big deal. There's a lot of magic in that blood. Can I drip a droplet of blood? Can I drip a droplet of blood onto the floor of this and like try and use that to sense out like
What happens normally when zesty blood is dripping blood? Like if you're walking through someone's home and you've got zesty blood, and you're carrying it around and it drips onto the carpet, does it tend to leave permanent blood stains? Is it dripping real blood, or is that blood magical and does it dissipate normally?
Magical. It's magical. It dissipates normally unless it's used in an attack mode, because I also have blood wave.
Right, where you're using that blood wave, but after you do your blood wave attack, does it leave a permanent, like...
Oh yeah, it's disgusting. It's bad.
Okay.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah. Yup, it's gross.
All right, I'm just curious. Okay.
So, but I used it before on the sigils, and like it helped dissipate some of them, and,
Right,
and
'cause it's
it helps.
magical.
Yeah, it's got that.
Right. So what do you?
So, like, maybe I can use-
What are you trying to do with this?
So I think I'm
blood
gonna
drops?
try and touch it to the ground, like
Okay.
just touch the sword to the ground or dagger to the ground, and see if I can like sense out anyone from it. Like use the magic in that way,
Sure.
because
Reach
obviously
through the blood?
we
Blood calls
heard
to blood.
blood
Yeah.
calls to blood.
Let's do it.
We obviously know somebody's here. We can't see them. It's hard to hear each other. Yeah,
You
might
two
as well try.
aren't having any trouble. You see
Well,
and
yeah,
hear
I
each
know.
other just fine.
Yeah. Well, anyways, there's some weird stuff going on. So
Love it.
D10 for that.
For zesty blood.
D8, and then magical lore. It's another D10. No. What do you want it to be?
Give me investigation.
Investigation.
Give me
D8.
investigation. You're
And
not
then I've got
using
the-
any of your knowledge of magic
That's
to do
true.
this.
I'm just like
You're reaching
just a
out with Zesty
bumbler
Blood Dragon, but
trying
you're
to figure
not
some
going,
stuff out.
I know because of spells and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Plus 4.
Plus 4,
So my mid is a 5, so it's a 9.
A 9. It's a complete success.
Yay.
When you use your bonuses from the chat, things get better.
Yeah.
You see, when I use bonuses from the chat, I get +3s instead of +2s or all that stuff. When you use bonuses from the chat, you completely succeed. The chat is going to save us or destroy us, depending on how things go. All right. Anyway, so you touch the tip of the dagger to the ground, and the blood like wells up from the tip, and it creates kind of a blood spot there. And then you kind of reach through it, and as you're looking at the blood spot that's there on the ground, I can't get too low because then I just disappear from the camera. As you're looking, my face is there. As you're looking, now my whole face is there. As you're looking through the blood spot. Okay, anyway.
That's weird.
Yeah, right. As you're looking through the blood spot, you see reflected in it because it's very shiny. You're looking down at it, and you see your own face looking at it. And also over to the side, you see Stella Nova standing next to you in the reflection in the blood. And as you're looking into the blood, you also see the Dynamo suit. It's back to you in the reflection. You look up and it's not there. I mean, you look down in the reflection, you see it over there, and it's standing there. And it's clearly like facing off against something. And then also in this reflection, you see Starblight, your friend Sam, without his sword, standing there, and he's kind of like looking around, just looking for something. But a little bit disconcerted. But you see all those people in that blood drop. But of course, when you look up, you only see Stella Nova. So there you go. You reach out. And you feel like. And the other thing is, you don't really notice. You're not only is your back to it, but also you're facing off against some sort of questionable dark force that has just attacked you, and now the floor is trying to drag into you. So you don't notice, but you do notice because you're looking around and go, "What the heck is going on?" When a spot of blood about the size of a nickel starts welling up from the ground.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to lick it?
Can I put my finger in it?
Oh, is that an option? Yeah, of course I like it.
There we go.
No.
Great. Yeah.
Don't like my blood. It's weird.
Is it your blood?
Somebody's blood.
Get your blood.
Hold on. Here's a question when you say your blood. If Adam Rotaro
Yes.
makes a bag of blood from himself and has a bag of blood and then gives it to me, I buy it from him, let's say,
Yeah.
and I am holding this bag of blood. When I say, "Oh, this is my blood," is it my blood?
Yeah, you own that blood.
But is it my blood?
Yes, you possess that blood.
Possession is 9/10 of the blood.
Possession
Because I think it's still
Possession
Adam's
is
blood.
9/10 of the law.
I changed my
And
mind
viewers.
about licking it.
All right.
Don't lick my
Talking me
blood.
out of it. I was excited, but
Can I try and reach through?
So you just complain about Adam licking your blood. Sorry,
It's
Sam.
my
But
blood.
then you're
I
gonna
can
try to put
touch
your.
it.
So it's a spot this big. So like reach through, like you could.
I just want to see.
Describe to me what you're doing.
Okay, so like this is a bigger spot on my end than it is on
No,
his.
it's not. It's
No,
about
small?
this big.
Okay.
It is the size
It's
of a
just
nickel.
like I have
You've got a
really
little dot
amazing
that's the
eyesight.
side of a nickel.
Okay.
And in that because it's a bubble. It's
Oh, okay.
a dome.
Okay.
On the ground, and in that dome, you see reflected your own face. You see Stella Nova. You see Dynamo, and you see
I have a
Starblight.
better image of it now.
Okay, but it's not. It's about as big around as a nickel and about half that tall.
Yeah, I'm still gonna try and.
So you reach your finger into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to see what happens.
All right. You see the blood. You're looking at this drop of blood on the ground,
Yeah.
and you see the surface of it get disturbed by something.
Okay.
But you don't like. It's just like the blood.
The finger doesn't come up through.
No.
That's what I wanted to see.
The
I
blood.
wanted to know.
The blood does the Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
and nothing. There's clearly you feel nothing that would have made it do that.
Right.
But you feel the blood.
Okay.
Yeah. And as you put your finger to it, the image is distorted and you lose the sight of the three of them, even though she's still standing there. But if you stop messing with it, you can still see them.
Playing with your
So I pull it out and I'm like,
No!
He's a vampire.
I've had blood before. I'm not necessarily.
Oh, that makes it okay. I've had broken ribs before. It doesn't mean I'm like, oh, I've had broken ribs before. Let's do it again. Hook me up.
It means that you're like a little bit more okay with it.
No. In fact, speaking as the person who had broken ribs, I feel less okay with breaking them again. It was not an enjoyable experience.
No, it is.
The
It's
more
pretty
times
bad.
you get your ribs broken, you build up an immunity.
Yeah,
That's true. I've heard that.
Yeah.
People.
science. That's science. He's a doctor.
Yeah.
No, he is not.
Benjamin Miller's a doctor of something.
Rocks fall, everyone dies. Anyway, so what? So that's what you do with your turn.
Yeah, that's what I did with my turn.
Yeah.
I guess my option is to dark force, right? And everyone else is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark force it is.
You sure? I mean, it's
There's only.
all right. So this dark force that is standing before you. Now, as you turn to face it, I assume you do. I assume that You've been wounded by it. It's at an oblique angle to you. You can't really see it. It slashes at you.
Yeah.
The ground is drawing you into it, or maybe you're being drawn into the ground, or maybe you're drawing the ground into you. Hard to say. Do you want to flee? Do you want to turn and face this thing? What do you want to do? I know it's not your turn, but it's important.
So
your reaction is.
That is that I would have begun turning immediately as soon as I was struck because I want to
100%.
know what's hitting me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. That's what I figured, but I didn't want to put that. Maybe you felt like, nah, I got to get out.
Yeah.
But you're going to stay here. So as you turn to face it, the shadows and the darkness in this place kind of coalesce, and it forms into a thing that looks like this. Yeah. Yes. And you recognize it. You absolutely recognize it as something very similar to Sir Arton from the memories that you saw him in. It is almost certainly him, but corrupted, evil, dark. Not the way you've ever seen him before.
Yeah. It's not my turn, so.
It isn't, but I'm giving you time to think about your life. Right.
Yeah.
Think about how awful things are here in the situation.
Yeah,
I want you
pretty
guys to know how bad things are before I finally and ultimately defeat you here.
Yeah.
And then we go into the live session at Gen Con. So, sorry, this is the way that you guys are finding out. Live session got canceled. Nobody signed up for tickets. Nobody showed up. And so I was like, you know what? I can end it here. And just murder them all and then...
I will use that time to nap.
I definitely, my post about this session for one of our Facebooks was that, we're all going to die, probably. I mean, right?
I'm here to make your dreams come true.
Yeah.
Great.
I do believe we have sold more tickets to the Sentinel Comics Live, so we still have tickets available. So if you want to come see the final session at Gen Con, come do it. Anyway, back to you, and by back to you, I mean back to this thing here, which I can do this here.
It's interesting that you wrote down exactly what my next words are going to be.
Yes, it's good. It's good. It's good. We'll deal with that in a second, because first, he's already hindered you. That's great.
Yeah.
So in fact, he's got these two glowing swords in his hands, and he points at you with one of the swords. And as he does so, tendrils of energy flow out of this wound in your side and get sucked into the floor where you're standing. And that is this one, and this one, and this one, and he doesn't have any bonuses because no one's giving me a bonus, and yet he still rolls a 9 for his max, so that's pretty good. But it's not an attack. It's not an attack. Yeah, because he rolled a 1, a 3, and a 9. Where did it go? He's hindering you again, but it's a different hindrance.
Okay.
So this is the easiest way to put it. And it's another -3. And since you already had a hinder on you, you also take his min plus his mid damage, which is only 4 life draining damage there.
Oh, that's basically nothing.
Sure. Good. I'm glad you feel that way. And then, even though it is his turn, if you want to, you can respond with some words. You said you had some words.
I mean, I recognized this figure.
Yeah.
And I would say, Sir Arton.
And as you say that, he growls at you and he says, Sir Arton is no more. There is only Dark Blight.
Dun dun dun.
And cross out more names.
Dark Light, the Dark Knight. I like it.
All right, there we go. And that's the end of the round.
Yeah.
Congratulations, everybody. So, with that said, as he utters those words to you, he had been pointing his sword at you. You got energy drained into the floor. He points at you, not because it's not his turn, but instead he points at you, and the hounds leap from all around you, just claw at you with their claws that do physical damage.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought you might be happy to know.
This is good to know.
Right, that you might be excited
information.
about these hounds with these physical damagey claws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all have -3, and you are reducing. You're in the yellow zone. You're reducing all physical damage by 3.
By 4.
By 4.
Yeah.
Great. So you've got a pretty good chance of getting out of this unscathed. In fact, they have to roll an 8 to do any damage to you.
Yeah.
And it looks like none of them do. So they all claw, and they're all scrabbling against your suit. And though none of them deal any damage to you, you feel some of them start to get some purchase on you, and you feel like if that were to happen again, it would go much worse.
Okay.
So they all leap at you, and not willing to hang around. He had pointed at you, and wordlessly the hounds all leap to attack, and then he turns, and with a flourish of dark energy, he disappears.
Okay.
So he's no longer there. Starblight, Sam. He has disappeared from the realm of Dynamo, but he's still up there on the screen instead of some boost of a character by cheering with bits and chat image, because he has now appeared before you. You're standing there, you are looking down at the ground, there's a bubble of blood, and then as you're looking down at it, you see energy coalesce in front of you, and Sir Arton, Dark Blight, is standing there before you, and he slices down at you with his 2 swords.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Yeah. So we use that, and we use close combat.
Swords is what you're worried about.
You've got 1, and what is your status die size right now?
It's a D6.
A D6! So he slashes at you, and he hits you for 8 damage. And then, because your status die is a D6, he hinders you for his max plus his min, which is in fact 11. But it was going to be not a -11. It's just it's a roll of 11. But he had an 8 for his max, so it's the same as. Are you all right?
Just laughing. Just me and Craig laughing at how silly I am.
All right.
That's what
Yeah.
I like.
You feel hindered, and as you feel hindered, the blight matrix inside your head says yes.
All right. Is it my turn?
It is your turn. He
Okay.
passes to you.
All right. When it says that, I'm like, all right, good to have you back. And I'm going to use my blighted hand with the that veiny things. And like just lunge for him and grab out and try and grab his face.
Sure, grab his face.
I like the face grabs.
Face grabs.
Yeah.
This is a much taller face. He stands a good 4 feet taller than you.
Yeah, I'm jumping into the air.
Yeah.
To do
This is
it.
good. This is like you're leaping towards his face, and he's like standing, towering over you with his swords and his he's got sword arms and no sword arms.
Glad you finally decided to join me, pal. Take this. Yeah, so I'm using, okay, so my false siphon is just an 8 whenever, yeah, so this is a bonus for me.
Right.
I've been like biding my time here, trying to get like a sense of what's going on.
Yeah.
And now like I finally have a target, I'm putting everything I got behind it.
That's great.
So I'm using Somvar's boost, I'm using Tenacious Taffy Man's boost.
I feel so terrible about the thing that I'm about to do to you. It's great.
What? Oh, great. Okay, I'm using my.
I'm hinting that maybe you don't want to put everything behind it, but it's fine. Like you do you. But the mechanic by which he operates, I want to.
Somvar's boost.
Okay, Somvar's boost.
All right,
that's great.
Yeah,
using Somvar's boost.
I'll just use Somvar's.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So, I'm using the Blight Matrix to attack.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a close combat.
Yeah.
I'm trying to grab his face.
This is great.
And I'm in the red zone now.
Oh, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've taken a ton of damage.
I mean, this is what you do.
Over the course of this. And I have a +3.
Right, and so with this attack,
I have a +4 total.
Are you doing an attack that has any, like, what ability are you using as part of this? Because you're using your Fault Siphon, but anything else?
This is just standard attack.
Say basic attack. Okay, good to know.
Attack, yeah.
Good to know. Yep.
So I rolled awesome.
Yeah, that's really terrible.
My mid is a 10.
That's great.
+3, +1.
Yeah,
so I have
a 14.
14.
You currently have a hinder on you that he made. You're using it as a boost, but it is true that you currently have a hinder on you that he made.
Yeah.
As you leap at him and as you reach for him, you hear him say "fool," and you hear your Blight Matrix in your voice also echo that, like with its voice in your head.
Oh.
And as he says that, he kind of just snaps at you, and you feel the blighted nature of the attack where he hit you, like haul you to the ground. You hit the ground hard, and give me that hindrance back. It's gone. But whenever he's attacked, if you have been blight bound by him and you attack him, he can just go no and cancel your entire action.
Okay. All right.
So you leap through the air, you're reaching for his face, and then you feel the ground grab you and slam you to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I was like, maybe don't spend every boost and everything on this attack.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Stella Nova.
Okay.
So neither of those are around us now.
That's true. You can you can both look through the bloodied looking glass you have into the world of Dynamo being crawled all over by Blighthounds, or into into the world of Starblight fighting this Dark Blight entity.
So can I use my to try to overcome this?
Yes.
My principle of the indestructible.
Okay.
Overcome in a situation where you charge headlong into danger.
Yeah, describe to me how you're charging headlong into danger here. I'm excited.
So I'm thinking I can use my cosmic energy and my magical lore to go inside the blood.
So what I want to see from you here, I agree with everything you're saying, but you have got a power other than cosmic energy that is about going from one place to another.
Teleportation. I keep forgetting about that.
So I love the idea of you looking through this blood and you're like, all right, there is a realm here that is a different one than you're in that has this other thing going on, and I want to go there. Magical lore, teleportation, that sounds great. And yeah, principle of the indestructible, you're charging headlong into a station, you're like, oh, that seems super bad, let's do it.
Yeah, and
take me with you.
Yeah.
No, if you get an overwhelming success, I'll let you take her with you. But
I have nothing I can give to you.
Well, and you get to use your max die on this, right?
Yeah.
So
I got
there's a chance. So you've got a D8 for teleportation, you've got a D10 for magical lore, you've got a D8 for the yellow zone. There's a chance you could get, well, no, there's not a chance.
You
get
can hit your
everyone.
hero points if you want.
That's true. You've got your hero point. You can use.
I don't know if you should use it on that.
Well, I mean, because the thing is, if you can use your hero points, you can use your collected trade to change a die to a face.
I already used my.
You didn't
Not
use
this
it
session.
on this one.
You should definitely have erased collected traits from last session. So, and since you're using your max die, if you turn a die to a face, like you've got a D10 you're using. So on this roll, you can say, well, great, I'm going to use my collected trade to turn my D10 to the D10 face if it doesn't roll a 9 or a 10 on its own as your max die. And then you've got a +2 and a +1 in your hero points. You could cash all that in for a 12 or higher to bring you both there, no problem.
I don't know if you want to do that. That seems like a lot on one thing, but I also don't. I'll figure. I don't know.
I mean,
that
you wouldn't even have to use the
way.
+2 and the +1, and just the +2 would do it because you need a 12 or
seems
higher.
really into it.
No,
I
I want you to do whatever. I'm just saying you can make this happen if you
Okay,
want to.
can I use my +2 hero point?
So you're committing the +2 to it right now,
Yes.
and then we'll see what you roll. So you're using your +2 on this.
Yes.
And what is that? So that is the thing that you got from a previous session. What in a previous session is making you go, this is giving me the extra knowledge, skill, sense, whatever to make this happen? Yeah.
Well, I feel really. So I looked into the blood and I saw Starblight. I feel really connected. That is my friend. We've been traveling.
So you're looking to go to Starblight. Specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure because you could go to Starblight or you could go to Dynamo. You're going to go to Starblight.
We're going
Okay.
to Starblight.
All right. So yeah, your previous connection to Starblight. So all right, go for it. Roll it, and you get to use your max.
Okay.
All right. So you currently have a 7 as your max. So you would have a 9. That succeeds, no problem. If you choose to use your collected trade and make that 7 into a 10, you could bring Violet Heart with you, or you can go on your own right now. Either way.
My collected trade.
I don't know that you would care about bringing me with you. You don't even is another thing. As a character, I mean, I hate it. Like we're magic girls together, but at the same time, like he's your real friend.
Real friend.
Go back and hang out with your real friends.
No, I'm just saying.
We were having our Space Buddy movie,
And then
we met you clowns.
oh yeah, we're the clowns.
All right,
This
you've
is the
got
man
like
who keeps.
Orange makeup.
You have been eaten by 2 dragons.
So hold on.
dragon.
You guys are right now
Can't
debating about, and like I wasn't gonna get in on this. I like it when you guys talk to yourself and I don't have to do anything. But I just want to point out, you're saying you guys are debating on which one of you is a clown. And Adam says you're wearing orange makeup, and you say you've been eaten by 2 dragons. And I'm like, okay, what is a property of clowns? Oh, you're right. Clowns get eaten by dragons all the time. That's a very good point. She's got you there, Adam.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I haven't seen a clown use orange makeup.
No, but full face makeup.
Okay, I want to try to use my collected trade.
You're gonna use your collected trade?
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things you can do with the collected trade is after rolling, turn one of the dice to a face of your choice. So you could turn this to the 10. You've already got a +2, which makes it a 12.
Okay.
And 12 or higher is overwhelming success on the overcome chart. And overwhelming success allows you to not only successfully complete this teleportation through the blood into this other phase of the blighted lands, but also the blighted realm inside the sword, but also bring your friend Violet Heart with you.
Yep.
All right, the 2 of you don't move. You don't even feel a sensation of movement, air displacement, anything. You're looking down, you're like, okay, and you feel nothing change. You're like, well, maybe it didn't work. But when you look up, you see Starblight and Darkblight locked in combat. Actually, in fact, what you see is Darkblight standing over Starblight and Starblight laying on the ground, looking surprised, concerned,
Aggravated.
aggravated.
I'm angry.
Yeah.
Run over and kick him because I feel like he's.
You're gonna run over and kick him.
He's been talking crap.
Well,
in the
it's-
magic
Just talking crap.
It's not.
Starblight hasn't been.
It's not your turn, and
I'm
when
just
she,
kidding.
when if Stella Nova decides to give the turn to you, then you can run over and kick him. Anyway,
I might.
all right. So you've done it,
Yeah.
and you and all your allies gain a hero point, even Dynamo, who's out of phase with you folks.
I'm already at my max.
Hero point.
Oh, here. No. I heard that. I heard right. I know what you said. I'm just checking you, you know.
I love you.
All right, who do you want to pass it to? At this point, Darkblight and the Blighthounds have gone, which is a great name for a band, Darkblight and the Blighthounds.
It
Yeah.
is.
I listen to that.
You would.
Yeah, I would.
And Adam has gone, right? Yep, because you attacked. And these 2 have not yet gone. Either one is fair game.
It's my Guar cover band.
What was it?
Guar.
Oh my god. That was the last concert I went to.
Hold on.
wasn't
From the
actually.
chat. For the chat, somebody has given a bonus. Paul, what is the bonus from the chat?
Westip Waters gives Dynamo a +1 for being all alone by himself.
Aww.
All by yourself. Don't wanna be. All right.
That's perfect, actually. Oh
I
my,
am
that's
passing
amazing.
it back.
Yeah. So you got.
Fame you'll never remember.
Oh, just wait. I got something in the chamber.
Is it a -6? Because let me tell you about -6s. All right. So Stella Nova, who you passing to?
Dynamo.
Dynamo.
Yeah.
Dynamo.
So,
Did you forget what you were gonna do?
nope. I was distracted by a thing Paul said.
Paul's not here right now. You were alone with 8 Blighthounds.
All right, I'm gonna do a risky action.
What? Okay.
I'm going to attempt to throw all of them off of me.
Sure.
And this is not an attack.
Okay.
I'm trying to hinder them.
Okay. So you're doing a mass hinder.
Yeah,
Yep.
basically.
Okay.
And I'm aware that I have a -6.
Yes.
Going against, well, 2 -3s.
Yes,
Going
right.
against me right now. However, I have a +3
true.
that I can spend from my hero point rewards.
That's true.
And this is definitely coming because like I am all alone, and I know that people are my strength right now, and because that's what brought me here in the first place.
Right. You jumped into this sword going, well, I got to save somebody.
Exactly.
And now you're not saving anybody. You're just by yourself. So you got to get to work.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking about like specifically like Sam right now is the one that I am here to save, but I've got all these voices from the space station back behind me too.
Sure.
But there's a +1 coming from specifically gotta save Sam, gotta find Sam.
Is that the Westip Waters one, or is that a different one?
This is the Somvar one.
Okay, cool.
Actually,
Tell me more.
And
Is there
then-
more?
There is. I happen to have 2 other +1s.
Let's keep going.
And I have 2 other players here.
Oh, amazing.
I've got another +1 from Renovantes telling me, and important to Sam is Stella Nova, who, do you have a, oh, you do have a real name.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't
There you
probably
go.
know that, actually.
We're using our made-up names.
Thank you. And like, you're just as important because you're a friend, and like, I have a feeling that you might be involved. You probably followed me because I know how things go. And then I've got another +1 from Westy. Westy P. Waters. Yeah.
I think it's Westy RP Waters.
It's West Europe Waters.
Yeah.
It's Westy, but if you wanted to say Westy, it's Westy RP Waters.
Yeah, Westy RP Waters.
Thank you.
And that is for my longtime workplace proximity associate.
Same.
All right. So as a result,
Whose name he doesn't know.
you're down to 0 bonuses, 0 penalties.
Bonuses, 0 penalties.
Hand me those cards and cross off the stuff that you don't hand me. And look at that. All that work just to get down to standard.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed.
All right. So now I'm going to do my risky action. I'm using my power suit for this.
Sure.
And close combat.
Yeah.
So I've got a D10 and a D6, and I am currently in the yellow, unless still
Nope, in the yellow zone.
So that's another D8.
And you'll get a minor twist after this.
Yes.
Because you're hindering all of them.
Yes. And I got a 4.
All right. That's
I could. Nope, I'll just take the 4.
all right.
Yep.
-2 to each of them. So you fling the Blighthounds that had managed to start getting some purchase on you off, and in the process of flinging them all around, you bowl them over, and they're all like launched back, but they're grabbing onto the walkway or the edge of the walkway, and they're starting to make their way back towards you again.
Yeah.
So
And I have a minor twist.
you do have a minor twist. That's right. Do you have one in particular?
No, never mind.
No, only one.
Okay.
Only one minor twist. Oh, you're right. You're right. 3 minor twists. Four minor. You know what? Sorry, I'm counting all wrong. It's just one major twist.
Okay.
And then you did not preserve your roll. Man, we all need to get better at that. If there's a minor twist in the play, do not get.
It was a 1, 4, and a 6.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
In the process of doing this, one more blight hound. You see them that you flung back. They're all like, they all look a little scared. They all look a little afraid. They're like, oh, we're not sure. And then from nowhere, just like popping into existence, but not with a pop of displaced air, not with a sound or anything, just all of a sudden, for no reason, there was one more blight hound standing in the middle of all of them, in the middle of the walkway, and it doesn't look afraid. It looks resolute. It's zeroed in on you, and all the other ones follow its lead as they crawl back onto the walkway.
Cool.
Yeah. You can pass it to anyone. That was the end of the. No, you can pass it to Violet Heart. You have not gone yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Violet Heart, do your thing.
All right, so we're here. We see Sam. We see
You want to run over and kick
Darkblight.
Sam?
No, I'm not gonna kick Sam. Not today. Anyways, I feel like. So this is the first time we've like really seen Darkblight. Like I maybe saw him in my little image before, but not.
You saw like something, but now he's like fully coalesced into looking like that, and he looks all big and scary. And
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. Let's see. I've never used taunting shrink, but I don't really want to. I think I'm gonna rage ribbons. Well, no, I'm gonna heartstorm him.
Taunting Shriek's is a reaction anyway. It's not a thing you do on your turn. It's a thing that you do in response to somebody else getting attacked.
Yeah, I realized that afterwards. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're still in the yellow, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna rage ribbons. No, I'm gonna heartstorm. I'm gonna heartstorm and attack with zesty blood. So I'm gonna just like run and jump and like probably use a little bit like there's probably some telekinesis involved. He's quite a bit taller than me if he's that much taller than Sam.
Sure, but the main thing you're doing is zesty blood.
Is zesty blood, yeah.
Right.
But like to get all the way up there, I'm probably like using some type of magic-y stuff. So it's gonna be zesty blood and magic. And trying.
Oh, magical lore. Okay.
Magical lore. Sorry, I said telekinesis.
Yeah. So and magical lore is more about like knowing magical things, not using your magic. Okay. So like because magical lore is the quality like I know magical lore. If you're like I'm using telekinesis, then you're like okay, I'm using the power of telekinesis for the jump. If you're like oh, I'm using magical lore, it's like I see that he's made of magic and I'm stabbing him right in the magic spot.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna stab him in this magic spot.
He's not made of magic.
Okay.
The magic spot's always where you want to stab.
I think that I probably want to stab in one of those glowy areas. That seems to have helped me before with the dragon.
Sure.
I mean,
So that's probably where I'm going for.
Sure. I would probably say that that's more alertness or investigation than it is magical lore.
As I'm saying it, yeah.
Yeah.
So zesty blood and alertness. So it's a D10, a D8, and then a D8 for my status.
Awesome.
And I'm not going to use Westy's thing yet because I'm going to use it for a glitter bomb. And
Since you've used that?
Yeah, this isn't a good option for a glitter bomb, so I'm just going to use it for that regular. Yeah. Wow.
All right. So you're using Heartstorm. You get to use your max die, which is a 6.
Yeah, 6.
So you do 6 damage to Sir Arton.
Yay.
Starblight?
To Darkblight.
Darkblight.
I didn't say Starblight. I said Sir Arton.
I
But
thought you said Starblight.
you're right. I should have said Darkblight.
Yeah.
I get confused in the middle of it and just stab Sam.
6 more damage to you.
What are you at?
10.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, not healthy. Although I get there pretty quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is your turn.
Yeah.
It is the end of the round, so you can pass it to anybody you like. They've got some Blight Hounds that you don't know about. They've got some Dark Blight that you do know about. You've got some teammates that you do know about. You got a teammate you don't know about.
Oh, okay. I was like, which one do I know about?
Also, you're now in the same place as Starblight, as Sam.
Yeah.
After having not seen him for a while and
Yeah,
being
let's
lost in
pass
his sword. So I don't know if you wanted to
I'm
say
passing
any
to you.
words like, oh, hi, friend, or anything like that. I don't know if you guys are happy to see him, you're
I'm
sad
just
to
gonna
see
be
him.
like, of course you did this.
Oh, wow.
I look at them, I'm like, I remember you. Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, hi.
Yeah, you've been here a long time.
It's
also
it's
a
been
few
a really
minutes.
long time, right. Yeah, but like everything's a little hazy. Glad to have you here. Okay,
Lemonade.
I'm gonna do daiquiris, a lawn chair. Yeah. So I'm gonna do something crazy.
I love it.
All right.
What?
Gonna turn on Violet Heart.
The guy
No.
that talks
So
to himself all the time.
right. Yeah. No. So I say to Darkblade, I'm like, look, pal. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you are. I don't know where we are really. But I'm guessing this is the sword that we're in, and that you somehow took control of this thing. But I got some news for you. I am the sword, and this is mine.
Ooh.
So I'm going to do an overcome
Okay.
and try and wrest control of this place from him.
All right.
Oh.
What I want to do.
Sure. Go for it. I love it.
I'm going to use my. I don't know if I want to use Blight Matrix for this.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's made of blight.
It is made of blight. I'm using Blight Matrix, and I could go either way on Living Weapon or Deep Space Knowledge for this. Living Weapon's probably
You are the
because I
sword.
am the sword.
You are the
right?
sword.
Yeah, that's the whole
Living
point
weapon.
of this.
Right.
Right. And then D8 is the thing, and I'm using everything for this.
Yeah,
So-
now we're talking.
Yes.
Yeah. So Tenacious Taffy Man's bonus comes from my my innate connection to what this place is, and so I get a +2 for that.
Right.
And then I'll erase that.
You also have hero points from
And
previous
then
sessions. What from a previous session is informing your action?
My
here?
+3 is seeing like last time I saw that this was the guy that had the sword.
You remember that Sir
And
Arton
I saw that
held this sword.
Yeah, that he failed to control it, and he can't control it. But like I know this, and I'm better than him.
Sure.
So that's
That is
where
how you
that's
feel.
coming from. Yeah. So I have a +5
That's great.
on this.
All right. And request. Yeah, that makes sense. Do it.
Okay.
It's a good thing you have a +5.
Yeah. So that's all well and good. I'm going to invoke my collective trade
Okay.
and make this into a 12.
Sure. So that makes you have a new mid,
Yeah.
and the mid is now 8.
It's not an 8.
And with a +5, that makes it a 13. So you have
Right.
success overwhelming.
Right.
That is great.
Yes.
That is great.
Yeah. And the way that I'm doing that
Yeah.
is like this. My collective trait is my origin.
It's about your backstory.
Yeah, it's all about the sword and my bond with the sword. This is the moment that this has all been building to.
It's true.
Is me going, I own this.
It's great.
So
This is great because you keep setting me up for situations in which you can like do an audacious thing and make an
Yeah.
audacious claim,
Yeah.
and I can then shatter it. I love it. This is great. So you do it and you succeed overwhelmingly. There's
Yeah.
no twist. There's no major twist. There's no minor twist. Nothing. You completely succeed. And in fact, I checked off 2 boxes for your successes here. Boxes? Who knows what those boxes are for? But I do. And so yeah, you definitely succeeded. And you try to wrest control away from him, and you feel a pull on it, and you're like, yes, this place. And you feel the phases of this, and you're like, this gives you a connection to this place. Actually, in fact, I'm only checking off 1 box because instead I'm doing this other thing. It's great. That you feel what the blight that this place is made of, and you don't feel you feel just as easily as you swing the sword, as easily as you summon the sword, you feel through it that Dynamo is here in this place too.
Yeah.
You pull him into phase with you. You feel the blight hounds where Dynamo was, and you absorb them into the blight of the place. They are gone.
nice.
This is your success overwhelming. And, but as you're doing so, and you're like, yes, no, this is my sword. Sir Darkblight, Sir Arton, the former Sir Arton, Darkblight before you, begins to laugh. And he laughs and he says, wield away, little one. This place is not of me. This place is not of you. You are not the sword. The sword is a trap. and I fell for the trap centuries ago, and now you too fall for the trap. Enjoy, wield, soon you will be a part of this place, much as I am.
Huh, cute. Too bad my friends are gonna kick your, and then it's your turn. I assume you like punch and it cuts off my words.
You're there now.
Yeah.
So you were there. There were all of the Blighthounds, the 9 Blighthounds that were running at you, and they were running at you, and now they're not there anymore. But instead, these 2 are there, and he's there, and he's like against this place, and also the big dark thing that slashed at you is there.
Yeah. More. So, like, I am super shocked that all of a sudden I am seemingly in different surroundings, but I do know that face. And that face was the face that hurt me.
That face?
Really bad. No, not that one.
This
That
face?
face.
That face.
Oh, okay. All right.
The face that.
that face.
Yeah, that face.
Yeah.
This dragon bag over here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that face. That face. I'm gonna.
God, this art is great.
I'm gonna haul off and do a charged punch, like just almost reflexively, right in that smug mug.
It's not a mug, it's a helmet.
Get a bunch of 5s to the bone box. I've been waiting.
Finally.
I've been waiting to say that. So I'm gonna attack using my strength, which is a d6. And this is definitely close combat, which is also a 6. And my mid die is a d8. I'm going to ignore all penalties on this attack, ignore any defend actions, and it cannot be affected by reactions. So, I don't have any bonuses to spend on this, though. They're all gone. My mid is a 5, is a 6, I mean.
What did you roll?
I got a 5, 6, and an 8.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So 6 damage is coming at him, and he takes 6 damage. That's great. He doesn't defend. He doesn't react. He just takes it.
Yep. That's okay. That's okay. Like, I was gonna do that regardless. I owed him pain.
Bread? French bread?
Yeah. Yeah. Ow, bon pain.
Okay, he says, "Ow, bon pain." All right.
So who has not yet?
These 2 haven't gone yet. He hasn't gone
He
yet.
hasn't gone yet. Did either of you have something specific that you were looking to do?
I have an idea.
Go for it.
Okay.
Stella Nova, do your thing.
My thing, okay. I'm gonna use my Lunar Orb and attack Starblight. Using my magical lore, my orb is going to transform, it's going to break into pieces and transform into pieces of the moon, because that is what it resembles.
Right.
Pieces of the moon and energy, and it's going to shoot through them.
Okay, sure.
Like a ton of little bullets.
Awesome.
Yep.
Moon bullets.
And are you using any particular abilities, or is it just a basic attack?
I'm using my lunar beam.
Oh, the lunar beam. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Because you have the lunar orb power, and you're the lunar beam ability. So I'm just
Yeah.
making sure that's what you're doing. We're good. Sounds great. I love it.
And then we are in the yellow zone.
Yes.
Hey.
Yep.
Excellent. So you get 8. You do 8 damage to him, and it can't be affected by any defenses, and he can't react to it, which is great. All right. So you blast him, and he's like, "Oh no!"
Those noises, yes.
All right. Do you want to pass it to him, or do you want to pass it to Violet Heart?
So, if you pass it to him, that means that he won't, they won't have a chance to go. Oh wait, if you pass it to me, then he could go twice, potentially.
He can't
He
give
can't
it to himself,
give it to himself,
there's not
but he
another
can give it to the
villain
environment. The
to
environment give it back to him.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what I mean. So maybe do it to him and then do it to me, and then he'll have to do it to me.
Okay.
All right. Dark Blight. It is you pass it to Dark Blight's turn, and you've like taken control of the place from him, but he doesn't seem any different. It doesn't seem like he had control of the place so much as was a denizen of it. And yeah, we'll do that in a second. He is going to continue his laughing that he was doing before, and he's like, "None of you understand. She's got all of you in her sway," and he hits the ground, and lines of blight come up out of the ground at all of you, all 4 of you. Although there's 4 of you, so his status has gone down. And you each take a hinder. I'll write it up for you. And then here's a question: do any of you have a hindrance on you of any sort?
No.
Excellent. Good job. Did you think it was going to be good?
No.
I was going to spend my dark light turn giving you guys presents. Because it is presents.
I'll wait.
And after he does that, you feel, Adam, that the sword that you reached out to wield, and in fact did so successfully, and changed the way it worked. You feel it rebel against you. You feel your control. You have this like mental control of the sword that you're in, and you feel it pull away from you and tear at you.
Okay.
And that is the round. And no, then they pass it to you. That's right.
So the thing that I was like, oh no, that's really bad, is Sam couldn't attack him because Blight bound, and like you can't attack him, but
Something happens.
Yeah, that could have been an effect only on Sam, I guess, maybe, but I doubt it. I am going to attack using telekinesis, so I'm not going to use rage ribbons because rage ribbons is targeting 3 different things, but it's going to be a similar power where, actually, I'm going to use, so I've got hearts, thank you, yeah. I've got hearts that are all around me too sometimes, so I'm going to use some of those hearts. Yeah, look at those hearts. So I'm going to use some of those hearts, and they're going to storm around him.
You got like hearts, and like.
Yeah, they're like around him, and that way I don't have to directly touch him because I kind of vaguely am aware. I'm kind of vaguely aware of maybe what happened to Adam before because I think I was looking at him when it was happening. Okay, so I don't know, but I'm just gonna do it because I want to. Yeah. So that's telekinesis, which is a D6.
Yep.
I guess it's still alertness because like I am just like knowing where I'm placing them.
Yeah.
And then I'm still.
You're trying to attack get through his armor with your hearts.
My mid is a 4.
So as you go to attack him, you feel the blight as the tendrils of blight come up to the ground and drive through you. And as you attack him, he reaches out and like rips away at this blight that is going through you, and you feel your powers just fizzle and nothing happens.
But like I don't take any damage either.
Yeah, no.
Nothing happens. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Nothing.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
Okay, now it's over.
Did you have a?
Can I ask a
Of course.
mechanical question?
Yes, of course. Great.
Is this a reaction that he's doing?
Yes. Yes.
Good to know.
Yeah. Oh no, it is not. It is an inherent ability that when he's attacked, he may destroy a penalty on the thing that's attacking him and negate it.
Just checking.
Yeah. Who would you like to pass it to?
Literally anyone.
Yeah.
Himself.
Okay, you. I'm gonna pass it to you. That's why I was looking at you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to do what I do best.
Yeah.
I am going to do what I do best. I am going to throw myself
Off the edge.
I can't.
It's true. It's true. But it doesn't mean you can't try.
I'm going to throw myself at the floor.
Okay. That is what you do best. That's true.
I'm going to throw myself in between Darkblight and Sam.
Sure.
And I'm gonna defend with my wall of steel.
I love it.
So I'm gonna defend using my power suit and defend another target with my min die.
Great.
So a D10 for my power suit. This is still a close combat sort of situation. And then a D8 for my status. And I do have a -2, so I can choose which die this.
The -2, the effect type. Well, technically speaking, when there is a boost, you get to, when you have a boost, you the maker of the modification, whether that it's a bonus or a penalty, decide where it goes.
Okay.
So when you have a hindrance, so if you hinder one of my guys, and then if you hinder Darkblight, and then I roll the pool, you decide where it applies to.
Okay.
If you boost yourself, you apply where it goes to. If someone else boosts you, they technically decide, but frequently they just let you put it where you know best for it to be. But he hindered you, and when I have something like the environment hinder you guys, I let you guys put it wherever you want.
Sure.
He hindered you, and I will choose where that hindrance goes.
Okay. So I have a 4, 5, and an 8.
Right.
I will be defending myself with a 5 and defending Sam with a 4.
Okay, so you're going to defend yourself with a 5, and you're going to defend Sam with a 2.
Okay. So you've got a defensive 2.
Okay.
And I have a defend 5.
And go ahead and toss me that card. You don't no longer, that your hindrance has gone away.
Yep.
All right, that is great. Who do you want to pass it to? Darkblight. There's also the environment. Can't really think of any other options there are.
I'm actually really tempted to pass it to Darkblight.
Just get it over with.
Yeah.
You got
Well,
some time before he acts again.
yeah, and like you're his like nemesis target basically,
Yeah.
and you're defended at this point.
Right. Yeah,
And-
do it.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, why doesn't I'll pass it to Darkblight.
Excellent.
Then-
He once again draws on the ground because he is doing this thing that I think he's only done to you before. But worse now that there's 4 of you that are attacking him. No, not that one. Oop, okay. So his max die is a hindrance against all 4 of you.
Okay.
But then any of you that already are hindered. No, he did this to you before.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta rewrite it. So his max die is a hindrance. He rolled an 8 for his max die. So he has a -3 on the 2 of you that weren't blight bound. The 2 of you that are blight bound become drained by this landscape as he continues to apply these hindrances to you.
Yeah.
And he, because you two have already had these hindrances, you each take 5 damage. Now, Adam, you only
At least
take
I
3
only
because
take
you're
3,
defended
yeah.
2. So yeah. All right, and that is his turn. He passes it to the environment, which continues to try to wrest itself away from Starblight's control, and that is the environment turn. Starblight, what are you doing?
Well,
Oh, sorry. As he does his thing, as
Yeah.
he reaches in and he like drives the ground up, he continues his diatribe, his monologue about none can face against the power of such corruption. You've all fallen for the same simple tricks that laid the Knights Cosmic low so many eons ago, and then those things.
all right. God, I feel like anything I do is gonna be like almost a waste because of this garbage. But I'm okay. So I'm struggling with this place,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And so I'm actually going to like devote my focus to that.
Okay.
And continue trying to overcome and mold this place to what I want it to be.
Sure.
I feel that this is a challenge that involves information I have no way of knowing.
You know
Because
what?
I feel like I'm checking off these boxes.
Not only do you feel that way, Adam,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, it's super that way.
Yeah, okay.
It's super that way.
All right.
There's a key thing that you are missing.
Yeah.
And that is,
Good. All right, great. Well, that means that I use my max die.
that's definitely true.
Yeah. From overcoming with Blight Matrix and Living Weapon,
Yeah.
same thing as last time. Red Zone, and I get to use my max die on this. And everybody gets a hero point. So 9 minus 5.
5 means it's a 4.
Yeah.
You succeed with a minor twist.
Succeed.
You succeed with a minor twist.
Nice.
Just sneaking it in there. That is great.
Oh boy, yeah.
So I will tell you, you are no longer able to use that particular principle to overcome this one, because in the process of overcoming, you are halfway through the challenge,
And you get these back
right,
as
and
well,
you
yeah.
learn Yeah, it's a good call. Just hang on to those. They might come up again. But you learn something key in the process of doing this.
Yeah.
You're fighting. You're trying to like wrest control of the sword from the inside, and it feels like the action that you take when you summon it normally. So there's something there. Additionally, you're fighting against this corrupted Sir Arton, this Darkblight figure, and it's saying all these things. And as you are reaching and trying to control this environment, you realize what you're doing isn't trying to control the environment. You're trying to, or the thing that you are fighting against is not wresting control of the environment away from Darkblight, but rather peeling the environment off of Darkblight. The environment itself has connected itself. Darkblight never took control of the environment. The environment fully bound and drained him and made him its own.
Okay.
And you are saving him from this environment is the thing that you're doing. This control that you're taking, it's not like when you feel it shuddering and trying to take control back from you, it's not trying to take control away from you, it's trying to reinsert its control back into this Darkblight.
Okay.
So that is so that's the thing you're feeling is happening here, for one. For two, while you're doing this, you also feel like no, don't worry about that. We have minor twist.
Yes.
You had all the success, but with a minor twist.
Yes.
Which
like, of this principle is how did the voice in my head just distract you?
You know what? I was gonna give you some Blighthounds. I was gonna have some Blighthounds come back. That as you learned these things, you were distracted, and your min die was gonna give you that number of Blighthounds. But no, I really like that.
Okay, I have an idea for this. Also, I was gonna tell them basically that to try and uncorrupt this guy like the amulet.
Sure.
But instead of that, I can get involved in this conversation with my voice.
Sure.
That like it can interrupt and not allow me to relay
You go to
this
say that, and
information.
it interrupts you. And in fact, the voice inside your head, it doesn't do it in a harsh way. It doesn't do it in a grabbing or violent way. It just kind of whispers into your mind, but wait, no. Feel this power that you're pulling on. You look how powerful this Darkblight entity is. You could be this powerful. This power is for you. Like rather than trying to solve the situation, save the situation, you just completely moved these phases around. You took these stairs over, and this power's like you could have more. You could have the sort of power that could summon and control laser dragons and be unequaled by anyone else.
That sounds like cool power. I don't believe you though.
Right, but for a moment,
moment,
you are not only distracted but tempted enough that you're like, that's worth considering.
Right. Yeah.
It's not changing any of your actions, but it is.
I could just like ride in on him. That'd be really cool. But yeah. And who has not gone yet?
Neither of these
Just the two of them.
Yeah.
Stella Nova.
Okay.
Do it. I'm like still on the ground, and I'm starting to have spikes come off of me. The glowy spikes.
Yeah.
As is my way.
The tendrils, the blight matrix tendrils that are coming out of your arms and your hands have driven into the floor of this place.
Yeah.
You're fighting that floor that hates Craig so much.
Hey, though, I'm fighting the floor for you, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, I came in for you. You're fighting the floor for me. Take that.
You guys don't deserve beverages.
I'm going to use my lunar beam, my lunar orb, to teleport my lunar orb inside. Like I want it to mesh inside of his body.
Sure. Yeah.
And then collecting energy from like all of the planets, just all of its components and things. Just try to burst his insides.
Oh, that sounds great. Very positive.
Wow.
Very positive. I love it.
I love it too.
All right. So, are you using?
Yikes.
Is this just a basic attack?
This is my lunar beam.
Okay. Great.
I don't know.
That's great.
My lunar orb is a D10. Magical lore is a D10, and then
Magic girls are girls.
What?
Sometimes.
There you go. So your mid is a 6. So you managed to get through because you do have two. You have a -2 and a -3 on you right now.
Yep.
And so those things you feel as you're doing this, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this big thing. And as you're sending your lunar orb out there, You feel the ground that you stand on, the air around you. You feel this whole place way down, and you feel it drag you down. And you're like, oh, I do the thing, and the orb it hits him, and like it fires some energy at him, but you don't manage to successfully complete the action. But it does hurt him. Some of it does get through, and he takes some damage from it. But you are so drained and bound up by this place. As a process of doing this, all of the energy that you put into the lunar beam, the lunar orb, to do this action, instead of firing into him, it washes back over you and frees you from this place. And so you're no longer hindered by these things, but you had to save yourself more than destroy him. So, who do you want to pass it to?
Violet.
You have the last one?
Yeah. I am gonna Heartstorm, attack using Zesty Blood, and use your max die. I'm gonna hit my my hero point on this. I've got a +2 hero point.
Awesome.
That I'm gonna go ahead and hit for this. And I have to. Those you're trying to connect to the backstories too,
Yes,
right?
those came from the previous issue.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So and it's
It's not necessarily it's not from your backstory. Your collected traits from your backstory. This is from this adventure.
Yeah. So in this, I when I use those hero points, I'm thinking back to how I'm gonna think back on the amulet because you mentioned that there was some cleansing, there was some peeling back that needed to happen.
Right.
And actually, no, I still want to use Zesty. I'm still gonna Heartstorm.
Okay.
But I'm instead of stabbing.
You're only sort of stabbing.
I guess maybe I'm not using Heartstorm, but I am using Zesty Blood. I'm gonna just try.
What are you trying to do?
Sorry.
Before telling me what ability you're using or what powers quality, what is your intent
my
here?
intent
What is your
here
goal?
is that I want to see if I can just cleanse it a little bit instead of trying to stab him and kill him.
Sure.
I want to try and
You want to try to cleanse his corruption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get rid of some of that.
So what about your principle of exorcism?
Oh, I can use that here?
What does it say?
Overcome entities or elements from another dimension. Use your max die. You and each of your allies gain a hero point.
You are definitely...
Every single time I try to do it, there's no...
You are definitely right now in
Finally
another dimension. You are in the inside of the sword dimension. You are
If there's ever an excuse.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna use my principle of exorcism.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be using Zesty Blood as my instrument in this.
Sure.
And using the blood from it to tap him.
I love it.
And
you're gonna spritz him with some blood.
With some blood.
A spurger.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I don't like that.
You're gonna spurge him.
Yeah. So Zesty Blood D10.
Yeah.
Health D8. I'm
Right.
gonna hit magical lore for this.
Hit it up.
It's like a dark comedian.
Yeah.
And
So 7 is your mid die, but you use your
I'm
max, which
using
is
my
an
max
8.
8, and then
You did use the backstory, so you have a
Yes.
+2, makes it a 10. The blight, you are blight bound,
Yeah.
so that drops it down to a 7. The blight bound goes away though. So you're able to free yourself in the action of also overcoming. So you and each of your allies gains a hero point. It's okay, we're good now.
Okay.
And you and each of your allies gain a hero point.
We're at 3?
Yeah, we're at 3.
3 total.
And you succeed on doing this in that as you spritz him with your gross blood, he's like, oh, whoa!
It's glittery, pretty blood.
Oh, ew.
And it kind of burns into him, and there's some parts of the purple energy that's flaring at him that kind of flicker and die.
Ooh.
And so that's cool.
Oh no.
And as you do that, just write a new one of these. But.
No, this is better for the environment.
Right. As you do that, almost in response, so you do a couple things here. One, you spritz him, and some of the purple parts flicker and die. Also, you cleanse yourself you were bound to the blight of this place, and you manage to cleanse yourself of that process and getting rid of the hinder at the same time. In response to these things, especially in response to his purple energy reducing, out from underneath the walker you're standing on crawl 4 of these blight hounds, and they growl at you. Growl.
I gotta pass it to them.
Yeah.
Have that.
Cool. 2 of them, all 4 of them are galloping at you, and 2 of them, right before they get to you, screech across the ground and open their mouths wide, and a dark, chaotic energy rolls out of their mouths towards you. And you are hindered for both of those 2. But they're pretty pretty mediocre hinders, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Drain for 1. Okay, that's up.
And then the other 2 attack you. The other 2 leap upon you and chomp at you with their chompy chops. And they deal 8 damage and 4 damage to you, so a total of 12 dang damage.
Because I can do math.
Can you?
No.
So how many hit points are you down to now? How many?
20. Wait, no. 20.
How many did you have in the first place? You just did
30.
12 damage and your max is 30.
Yes, so
you
I know.
can't be-
Yeah, no, I'm not at 20. I'm at 18.
Yes.
Yeah.
Twinsies.
It took me a second to do math.
Math is hard.
Math is hard. I'm not good at doing math.
All right, and so that was their turn, and that is the end of the round. Everyone
Okay.
is gone, and they. What do you mean?
Oh, sorry.
Everyone refreshes, and they're going to pass it to the environment, which is going to struggle and attempt to regain control. Darkblight is looking rough, but not in a taking damage way. He's taking an inconsequential amount of damage, but he is like really. But he's looking less like the seat of his power and more like uncertain, wavering. And so he is going to instead. Right, do this cool move here, where he is. Right. Is going to drive you. You launch the lunar orb at him, the lunar beam, and he is going to like blip out of existence where he is, and then reappear right in front of you and drive down a sword, attempting to impale you with it. So he does this with his blight matrix and with his close combat, and
Always gotta be impaling.
Impales.
Impalians!
Another good band.
all right. So he rolls a 6, a 10, and a 10. You take 10 damage from his mid, and as the sword stabs into you, he draws energy out of you into himself. His min is a hinder for you, so in fact it's a -2, and his max is a boost for himself. So he is boosted by this much here, and there you go.
Just my gorillas covered in.
Oh, I like that.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
That's fitting.
And so he's done that, and he passes it to you. So Stella Nova is all you.
Okay, so we got the Blight Hounds back.
Some of them.
Some of them.
I thought you said the Blight House.
I mean, the
The castle gets recorrupted, that's what we're calling it.
Too soon.
So I am going to hinder using my telekinesis and apply that mod against multiple targets.
Nice. So these are all over there chomping at
Yeah.
Violet Heart, and then this one's here right on you. So you can hinder him, or you can hinder all those Blight Hounds.
I'm going to do the...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
I was just going to tell you I'm going to attack them next, whenever it's my turn.
And if you hinder all of them, then they'll have reduced defenses, so you could glitter bomb.
That's what I was going to do.
Sorry, spoilers.
So I'm gonna hinder the Blight Hounds. I'm going to use the leftover craters from the moon
Sure, yeah.
that I used earlier with my orb, and each one of those is going to create. It's gonna blast through them. We're gonna do that.
You're just gonna blast. These
through 'em.
orbs, each of the craters are gonna put out this lunar energy that's gonna scythe through all of them.
Yep.
Love it. So make the
I got
rolls. Yeah.
my D8, magical lore D10, and then we're in the yellow zone. The danger zone.
That must be nice.
So and you are using your right your impose inertia ability here.
I go right into the dangers.
Okay, great. So the mid is a 3. You roll a 3 against all of them, and you have a -2 because of the blight. So only one gets through, but that's enough that it does hinder all of them for a -1 each. So
Something.
it hits. It's to all of them, and that will reduce their attacks or their defenses on their next time they roll their die.
Cool.
You can pass it to whoever you like. Yeah.
Let's do some glitter bomb action.
Glitter
Okay.
I think that seems like
Violet?
a really good idea.
All right, so I'm gonna glitter bomb, destroy a D6 or D8 minion. Roll that minion's die as an attack against another target.
Boom. So you are still
But-
hindered,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna use my. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
so no, but you can just outright destroy one of these things. The hindrance doesn't care about that. So boom, you blow one up, destroyed. Now you get to roll the D8 against them, and you have the +1. So you'll describe that, but you also have -3 from the breath they breathed on you.
Bleh.
So you need to describe all that when
Okay.
rolling your D8. You want to roll
So-
the D8 first to see. Describe the +1.
Yeah, describe the +1 first. So I had tried to use. So when I glitter bomb, I
Yeah.
used all of my my hearts and stuff
Sure.
to do that. The ones that I tried to use on.
Okay, do you have stars and diamonds or just?
It's no
Is it heart
It's-
and horseshoes?
no
Clovers
horseshoes.
Blue
Clovers and
moons.
diamonds and full moons.
I do have blue moons because that sounds fun.
Do you?
But so I used my hearts before when I was trying to take on Darkblight, and he just like negated it entirely.
Yes.
And that was like a not fun feeling for me.
Right.
And that's usually what I use for glitter bomb. Is I use my hearts to kind of like swirl around them and
Right.
like destroy one.
Naturally.
And then like poof them into glitter. So I'm gonna also use my ribbons. So I'm gonna my hearts are gonna swirl out
Yeah.
and go around them, but also my ribbons are gonna come out of my hair because that's where they live for the most part.
Yeah.
And they're gonna wrap around one of them.
Okay.
That way it's just like pump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it bursts into glitter.
Yeah.
Here's the D8.
Thank you. Boom, 9.
Fantastic. You roll an 8, which becomes a 9 because of the +1. You do have the -3, so it gets down to a 6, but it's still a 6, which is really good. And some of that glitter gets on you, and the glitter that gets on you disconnects you from the blight of this place. So that's good.
And now I'm glittery.
And 3 of them have to roll a defense against a 6, and they all have a -1 to their defense, thanks to Stella Nova. The 7 and the 7. I rolled 2 7s and a 5, so the 5 is outright destroyed. The 2 7s go down to 6, and that is enough for them to survive, but they are both reduced to D6s. So you destroyed 2 of them, and you reduced 2 of them down
okay
to
with that.
D6s. It was pretty dang effective.
All right.
Who do you want to pass it to? You can pass it to them, or you can pass it to either of these 2 chaps.
Do you want it and you can try and suck some energy out of the Blighthounds? Can you do that?
I'm not concerned with the Blighthounds, but I have stuff to do.
Okay.
I can.
You do it.
So normally my eyes glow that red. Right now though, I like the veins are like slowly creeping out of my face like this, and my eyes are like solid red orbs that are sort of reflective. And I was like muttering to myself before. I was like having this conversation with the Blight Matrix.
Yeah.
And I managed to come to long enough at this point and go and to tell everybody and say he's like the amulet. We have to free him. And then I like retreat back into this, and I'm trying to like the way that I'm doing this has changed now that I know what he is.
Right.
So I'm trying to sort of pull that corruption off of him now intentionally, and the way that I'm doing that, I don't feel like I can use the Blight Matrix for that anymore.
You don't.
No, so I'm using my intuition and my deep space knowledge though to draw on that.
Totally legit.
Mid is 5.
All right.
That's not
Succeed
bad.
with a minor twist.
Yeah.
Excellent. You don't happen to have a minor twist? No, I think that we're gonna do a different thing here. So you reach like through the blight of this place that is very familiar to you, and you like manage to reach to where the blight connects to him and sever that connection.
Hey, awesome.
So, and as you do so, he falls to the ground. He still looks like what he looks like, but he falls to the ground.
It's just like a marionette that had their strings cut.
Yeah, just crumples to the ground. Both the two swords that he was holding like fade out of existence.
Yeah.
And he's just a crumpled heap. As he does, as that happens, all of the blight hounds that are over by where Violet Heart is swivel and look at you, and 3 more blight hounds crawl up from the underside of the.
Look at that. That seems legit.
Yeah. They crawl up from the walkway, and they're all advancing on you. This card here has more ink than I've ever put on it. So there are 2 glitter-covered blight hounds over by Violet Heart.
Is the purple like fading off of him also? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, there's the glowy purple. There's no glowy anymore. He's he's an inert, non-glowing pile of gray and black.
Okay.
He's not silvery and purpley glowy anymore. He's just this pile of gray and black.
Okay.
And in fact, actually, I'm just going to do this. So this is the 2 blight hounds that are covered in glitter. There's 3 new blight hounds they're fresh, that have come into existence near you in response to this action in the blight that you have done.
Okay.
All right. So you can pass it to either of the sets of blight hounds, or you can pass it to Dynamo.
To Dynamo. Maybe you can do something about them before they
We'll
get
see.
to me.
I've got this pretty hefty negative on me still.
Delightful.
But yeah, so there are blighthounds advancing. I definitely it's time for me to step up. I'm gonna make an attack.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna charge and use my charged punch in this, because this is a perfect time when I have bonuses and negatives on me. To
Great.
use my charged
yes,
punch.
that's definitely true.
And so I'm gonna attack using my strength. And these are the glitter covered.
Okay.
Glitter covered.
Attacking one of them.
Yeah, one of them. Sorry, I can't do much more than that.
Do what you can. I'm probably gonna die again.
Close combat. Don't killing me.
Nope, hit him.
No, you're killing him.
All right. A 1, a 4, and a 6.
So 4 is your mid.
Yep. 4
And you're attacking for 4.
Yep.
And you destroy it.
Yeah.
You run up and just kablow, explode one of these glittery blight hounds.
Is there an explosion of glitter when I do so?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So who's left? It's Stella Nova and...
Stella Nova's already gone.
Oh.
What's left is 1 glittery blight hound, 3 not glittery blight hounds.
Let's go to the glittery blight hound then.
All right. The glittery blight hound charges, clumsily slipping over itself. It's not doing as good, but it charges and just tries to chomp at you.
Yeah.
And he rolls a 2.
All right. Yep.
Yep. And then it passes it to the other 3 blight hounds that are all surrounding you.
I need them all roll once.
And the 2 of them open their mouths wide and breathe out the
hey,
dark
good.
roiling energy at you.
That's great.
Actually,
That's great news.
yeah. Legitimately very good news.
He still has his over there, too.
Oh yeah. Do you need me to?
Just trade them for the. Just trade me the drained. Never mind. Hand me the drained.
Do you want me to just change the number?
Yeah, sure. It's a -2 now instead of a -3.
Okay.
So that happens, and then the last one. So the last one bites at you.
Yep. I need it to roll.
I'm going to point a thing out
4
because
or less.
Maggie never, ever, ever does this ability. You could just use your taunting shriek.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean?
I thought it was a reaction when another hero. Okay.
What does it say? Just read it out loud for me.
I just
It'll make
said
me
it.
happy.
When another hero
the whole
in the
thing.
yellow or the red zone would take damage, you may redirect it to yourself and defend by rolling your single presence die. I will taunting shriek.
So what you're saying is that all those times that Adam has died before, you could have stopped all of them.
Listen, Adam talks a lot of crap, and so maybe somebody needs to learn how. No, just kidding.
Maybe somebody needs to learn how to be a team player.
Okay,
So Adam is about to take 1
I'm
damage.
going to taunting shriek,
Okay.
and I've never.
So you
Well, I'm not gonna.
So it says you may redirect
Yeah.
it to yourself, and if you do, you defend by rolling your single presence die. So no, stop erasing things.
Okay.
You've got 1 damage coming at you. This is the thing. You could have saved Adam from so much trouble because you have 1 damage coming at you. You roll your presence die. It's a
Yeah.
d6. Roll it. You reduce this 1 damage by roll it. Doesn't matter. You reduce this 1 damage by 6.
Okay.
You take no damage, nor does Adam.
Okay.
Remember all those times before when Adam had 1 or 2 hit points and he was
Sorry,
dying?
Adam.
That's what is about. You could be defensive, but you can also just apologize.
I'm like on the ground. I go, could you do that the whole time? Is that something
I don't
know you had
It's
that.
very uncomfortable for
you
me.
just let me die all this time?
You didn't die.
It really hurts my throat.
It's really irritating.
Oh my god.
Right before Gen Con? I don't think so. I'm just kidding.
All right, that is all of them. It's a new round.
I did not know you had that ability. You're a jerk.
You let a planet die. Calm down.
Just a space station.
So they pass it in the new round to the Blightscape, and the Blightscape begins shuddering, and you feel all of the. You feel all the stairs, all the areas. You feel the stairs collapsing, so that there's no longer stairs. They're all going flat, and then it all starts closing in, and like there's not enough space. You look out and you see infinite space, but you feel everything closing in on you. And in fact, you see the far edges of this now flat land that you're in disappearing, and you feel like things. They're not falling away. They're not getting destroyed. They're just ceasing to exist as the whole thing is closing in on you. Just so as you know.
Okay.
Then a glittery Blighthound is going to attack at Adam. There's 1 tiny glittery Blighthound left. You could do 1 reaction around.
I just wanted to ask.
Now
It's a new round.
No, we refresh at the start of your turn.
Oh.
At the start of your turn, you get your reaction back. And then you can use it on your turn, or you can use it on somebody else's turn. At the start of your turn, you get it back.
Okay.
So Adam, you get attacks for 2.
Alright.
2 damage. And then the 3 Blighthounds that you shrieked at turn and chase you.
Okay.
So there's 3 of them that are over Adam. This one still is attacking Adam, but you shrieked at these 3 to keep them from killing him. And so they're going to run at you.
Fair.
One of them, as they run at you, one of them is going to breathe its gross breath at you and give you a hinder, and then the other 2 are going to chomp their little chompers at you. Wow! Wow! So an 8 and a 5 makes for 13 chomps.
If I had some sort of reaction that could keep that from happening, I would probably use it now. But I don't.
That would be really kind of you.
So that is all
I think we
the
all need to get
Blighthound's
over
turn.
it. And you have a reaction. I don't know what it does. Okay.
Not that.
Okay. All right. Fine.
It's true.
I said sorry.
Like, am I taking damage from electricity? Nope.
All right, so that is their turn. They're going to pass it to you.
Good. I'm going to Sugar Sway because now I'm in the red and
Nice.
the environment's in the red.
Yeah.
Select a minion. That minion is now entirely under your control and acts at the start of your turn. If you are incapacitated, you lose control of this minion. You may also choose to release control of this minion at any time at the end of the scene. This minion is defeated.
So, do you want to grab the glittery one or a non-glittery one?
Glittery one. Wait, he has
Do you want to grab the D6 or one of the D8s?
D8s.
I get distracted by the glitter. You can put glitter on it. It's fine. Like, I'm sure you have a vial
It's cool.
of glitter.
It's fine.
That effect.
Right,
It's a
like
sugar sway.
no, we're doing it instead of a sugar sway. Since you grab one of the Blighthounds and its whole demeanor changes, its whole coloration changes. Instead of being a hound of blight, it's a sugar hound.
Yay.
It's all like,
I like it.
it's all like pink and has instead of like that smoky stuff come out. It's just
Instead of deep black pits
Cotton
for
candy.
eyes, it's got heart eyes now.
Adorable.
Like candy hearts.
Yeah. So
it has little like mints for nails.
I'm just
No,
saying.
that's weird.
Instead,
You took it too far.
I'm just like, I just want you to read all your abilities. All right, so that is your turn. Who do you want to pass it to?
I'll pass it to Stella Nova.
All right, so you've got one glittery Blighthound over by Starblight, who's looking awful. You've got 2 good-looking Blighthounds over by Violet Heart, who's looking awful.
Very attractive.
Dynamo is over there. He's looking pretty good, pretty decent.
They got dressed up.
Yeah.
I guess I'm dead.
I'm going to use.
And you are in everyone's axes if they're in the red zone because we are all the environment itself
I
is in
have
the
no
red zone.
trouble acting that way.
Yeah, right. But you're all in the
used to
red
it.
zone now.
Boost using my Ecliptic Catastrophe.
Okay,
Boost
great.
using my lunar orb. So I am going to go after the glittery one, and I am going.
So first, with the ecliptic catastrophe, first you're going to boost yourself with the lunar orb using your max die, and then you're going to attack using that boost, using your mid die.
Okay.
So it's all one action. So you have to use your lunar orb power. What quality are you using to make this happen?
My magical lore.
Sure, doing magic stuff with this, great. So 2 d10s, and then you are in the red zone because everyone is, so another d10.
Sweet.
And your max die is going to be a persistent bonus for yourself. And then your mid die will be an attack using that bonus. And your max die is a 10, so you have a +3 bonus. What did you do here? What kind of bonus did you create for yourself?
So using the energy from the glitter, using Violet Heart's glitter, I transformed those glitters into mini stars. But mini stars is the greatest power in the solar system. So, made of fire and all types of sweet stuff.
Sweet.
So I transformed them into mini stars, and the stars swirl around the Blight Hound, collecting different energies, and they all align around him and beam.
Sure. And so your mid was a 7, and so you add 3 to that from the stars, and that does 10 damage to one of the Blight Hounds, and it's only a d8, so it rolls and fails. And so it destroys one of the Blight Hounds. After that happens, the twin stars that have been circling around the Blight Hound, they come back to you, and you've got the lunar orb there floating with you, and you also have 2 stars that are rotating around you as well.
Nice.
So. For the rest of this combat, unless something specifically gets rid of it, you have you also have these stars now. All right, who do you want to pass it to? There is a glittery Blight Hound over by. Oh, these can't be passed to. That's just true. There's a glittery Blight Hound by Starblight, and then there is a non-glittery Blight Hound over by Violet Heart. You could pass it to either Starblight or to Dynamo.
Dynamo.
If you don't want it yet, I can hinder one first.
And then it doesn't make a huge difference. I'm gonna defend again since you're looking pretty rough over there. So I'm gonna go defend with I'm gonna stand in front of you with my wall of steel again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah, I'm gonna defend with my power suit. Okay. I'm gonna defend with my close combat, and I'm now in the red zone. Okay, so I'm defending myself with a 4 and you with a 1.
Okay.
And it's just to the next attack. It's not till the start of your turn or anything like that. It's not some abilities give you persistent defense. This is just a regular defend, right?
Yeah, this is just a regular defend.
Just double checking.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You may pass it to Starblight.
Is this one of the ones that inflicted these on me?
Yes. The glittery one. No, the glittery one has only ever attacked you. The one that's over by her is one of the ones that inflicted.
Yeah,
that on you.
Well, I'm gonna go attack that one.
You're leaving the glittery one behind.
Glittery one can. Stay here.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I prop myself to my feet, and I'm just covered in these red lines and just and I'm gonna summon infernal energy and channel that down through my arm and let out a blast of that.
Cool. Are you doing any? Are you feeding the blade?
No. I'm.
Oh, I mean, you don't have any bonuses.
Yeah,
no, you do have bonuses.
Feeding the blade is a hinder.
You do have bonuses, though. Technically.
Yeah, I have bonuses.
You could Blightstorm.
Oh. That's an interesting reaction. Okay,
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
You can Blightstorm
I don't have
because
Starblight.
of the way that Fault Siphon works.
Unless you
don't have Starblight.
Yeah, that's the
true.
Problem.
You do not have that Starblight right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you're counting me as Starblight. No, I didn't think you.
No, the power of Starblight is your sword because it's a signature weapon power that was renamed.
So I can't feed the blade. I can't Blightstorm. So that sucks. But
you can just do a basic attack though and still use the.
Yeah.
Still use the penalty.
Yeah. And I'll do. If I do a risky action, can I attack both of them?
They're not close enough to each other.
Okay.
When we do it,
right.
yeah.
No problem then.
Yeah.
I'll just attack that one then. And
So your -3 counts as a, oh, you're not -3. So one of your -2s counts as a +2,
Yeah.
but the other -2 came from a different target,
Yeah.
so they cancel each other out. So it's just a regular basic
just
action.
a regular basic attack.
Great.
I'm using Infernal Energy,
Yep.
which is D8.
Yep.
I'm using Finesse,
Yeah, sure.
and my
So it's 3d8.
red die.
So you're rolling
there.
3d8 against 1d8. Can you do it?
Can I do
your
it?
mid's
I
4.
Yep.
It rolls a 6. So you heard it.
Yep.
You definitely heard it, but it is not destroyed. All right, has everybody gone, I believe? So you can pass it to anybody you want to.
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
gonna
scene.
give it to you because you've got stars going around you. I'm like,
That seems pretty
please
cool.
Finish these off. Can you please get rid of them? I do it so hot over here.
So what are you gonna do, Stella Nova? You've got 2 targets left. They're both only a D6 target. You could just like lunar beam one of them. You'll still get a +3 to the attack. You can almost certainly clear it out. Or that's.
I can do the other one then.
Okay. I'm gonna use my lunar beam.
Sure.
This time my orb, using my orb and magical lore.
Yeah.
I'm going to channel my power from the stars and use. So with channeling the powers from the stars, it's actually going back to using my knowledge of astrology and the constellations, and using their energy to wipe them out.
Awesome. That's great.
Nice.
So use your lunar beam, or lunar orb, which is a D10. Use your magical lore as a D10. You're in the red
Yep.
zone, it's a D10. You add +3 because you've got these stars that are helping you out.
Star powered.
Yep.
Yep.
And so your mid is a 4, which becomes a 7. It rolls as D6. And were you attacking the glittery one or the one that's over by
the glittery one.
The glittery one. So the one that was about to chase down Starblight is instead destroyed. Well done. There's one left. Do you want to pass it to that one or the environment? You can. You don't have to. You can pass it to one of your teammates, but you could give it to one of my friends.
You got it, girl.
Oh.
I'm gonna use my sugar hound to destroy the last blight hound.
At the start of the turn, it rolls its D8.
Yep.
Roll for it. You rolled a 1. It rolls its reaction. It rolled a 2.
Wow.
You didn't kill it.
I would.
Your sugar hound is less effective than a black hound.
I'd like
You
to
made it
point-
cuter. You made it friendlier.
Yeah.
What do you want
I'd
to do
like
for your
point
turn?
out that you could literally have just snapped your fingers and destroyed it.
I wanted.
It's still your turn. You can still do a thing.
Yeah. Calm down.
Do you want to try to boost it, or maybe
first I'm gonna
hinder
give
an
it, like,
ally?
A little pet. So I'm gonna be like, you tried your best.
Okay.
Tried.
What did you do on your
Yeah,
turn?
I'll destroy you to destroy the.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna. I'll just heart storm. I'll just like traditional, just like come up, stab it.
Yep.
Seems like I can.
Roll for it.
Yeah, do it.
So that is
like that
Dusty
slow
Blood. Yes,
Slow
and then alertness.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a little throat slit. Like
Excellent. So you
That's
run up,
way better.
and this
Max
already
8.
wounded. Yeah, it's, it
was
rolls a
gonna
1 for
win,
advance. You destroy this blight hound, and then you turn back to your sugar hound, and you say, "You failed me," and you destroy it.
I use my ribbons, and I'm just like. Pump.
You turn it
He
into
blinks
cotton
out of
candy.
existence, but everyone's covered
Delicious.
in everyone's covered in glitter now. Adam's favorite.
Turn it into a cookie.
Turn it into a cookie. God, that would be cool. I want that to happen instead.
All right. So
Next time.
with that, the environment is still like closing in on you, and is still getting closer, closer. We're not really in round time, but you feel this plane of existence attempting to destroy itself. What are you gonna do? What do you want to do?
I want to reach out with my previously established connection and try and get a door out of here for everybody.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want you to roll an overcome.
Yeah. Which I'm doing through the Blight Matrix is how I have my connection.
Yeah.
And Deep Space Knowledge and my red zone
Sure.
because I'm in bad shape.
What? Also, you're in the red zone still. The environment is necessarily there. So 4.
So 4 is the mid
You succeed with a minor twist.
on that. Yeah.
All right, great. So you are able to reach out, and you can't create a door. You can't just get
Right.
out of there. It's not so simple.
Yeah.
But you are able to kind of slow the collapse of things a little bit, but also you're able to get a feeling for what needs to be done to get out of here. And you feel like rather than like just closing the door and getting out, you guys are all trapped in here. There is no getting out of this. Like when you were alone in here before and you were like, there's got to be some way out. There isn't, unless you somehow alter what this sword is. The sword that you're in was built to be a trap. It is a sword version of the Minotaur's Labyrinth. You've fought the Minotaur, you've dealt with the parts of this, but you need to remake this sword from the inside out in order to be able to leave. It's a roach motel. It's not meant to have exits, only entrances.
Right.
So something about this has to be changed. And you know enough now to communicate this information to your allies so that they can help you or possibly even be the ones to do this for you.
We basically need to change the sword into something else is what
and it is made out of some sort of, and the sword is made out of some sort of powerful cosmic energy that comes from something else.
Yeah.
And so you would need to oppose that energy with something of your own.
If we could all do a ritual that...
A ritual of friendship to change the essence of the sword.
If we could all put our rings together in the center and then...
oh, wrong team? Sorry.
So...
I do not get this reference.
No, you don't.
I think that it needs to be replaced with something else. I think that
A nice tiara.
your magic is probably not the best for that.
No, it's going to be her.
I kind of think that the space energy is going to be...
And you still have these stars that you have created that you can use to Stella Nova if you want to try to rebuild this sword in your own image.
I'm asking for your help, friend.
Yes. Let's do it.
And in fact, you have, almost exactly. Yes. Read it out loud. It's amazing. It's perfect.
Overcome an environmental challenge using cosmic energy and use your max die. Either remove any penalty in the scene or boost equal to your mid die.
And the last part's not necessarily as important, but still, this is exactly where you are.
Yes, this is me. This is, yes.
All right. So, using cosmic energy is D10.
Yep.
You said deep space knowledge.
My deep space knowledge.
Yeah.
Yep. And you're in the D10 because you're in the red zone.
That's a good roll.
And use your max die, and you add 3 because you've got these stars. Great, so you rolled a 10 for your max die. You make that a 13. It is a success overwhelming. That's exactly wonderfully perfect. So let's chat. Because what you learn, so as you reach into the depths of this sword place that you're in right now, and you learn this sword was made to be a place, and it was made by someone who is almost exactly like you. Like, you see your own fingerprints all over this place. This place is it's like you built it and then forgot about it, and so you're dealing with this thing. You're like, oh, now that you understand it, like between the things that Starblight told you about this sword and the things that now you're feeling about this as you're digging into it, you're like, this is simple. This isn't hard. This isn't difficult. This isn't that much energy. It's just a matter of like turning this and flipping this and like cleaning this off, and you are just like, you're like, oh, I'm doing nothing. This is casual.
Yeah.
The three of you all see Stella Nova float out into the nothing space, and you feel her float through what should be a wall. One of these, like the walls that you feel closing in. She just like casually floats out through there, and then she's got the lunar orb floating around her. She's got the two stars floating around her head, and she begins like her eyes are closed, and she's just drawing energy in from these two stars, from this lunar orb, and she's glowing brighter and brighter. And as she does, this light that's inside her pushes out and slowly takes over everything in this place. Changing it over. The dark gray of this place, it turns to kind of a white silver energy tinted with green. The green, the lunar orb that she uses, glows with a green energy that we see in her art on her character sheet or when we put her up on the screen. And we're seeing that energy now take over this place. So instead of this place being the purple and silver energy that it was before, now it's this green green and blue and white energy that, and it takes over the whole place. Instead of just a bunch of like twisting walkways, it is like a wide open plain. And she's doing a ton of things. You see her doing like a ton of amazing, challenging, powerful things, and you're like you're not doing anything. You're just like, oh, I'm just making this what it could be.
We're all
that right
very
there.
impressed.
Did
you guys know we have a god on our team?
That's what I look like.
That's what I look like. Oh my god.
So, you're inside the sword. You have complete control over this plane. This is a plane of existence that has been made, and you've changed it to be from a -1 to a neutral / positive even one. You're all here. You're all feeling fine. You're all healed up to full, including yourself. The energy of the changing of this place restores you to your best selves. And also, in the middle of this place, of this clean, wide open, clean but blank but empty expanse, is the crumpled form of Darkblight of the former Sir Arton, and he's laying there, motionless. You guys can leave. You can easily, you're like, oh, it's super easy to just leave this place, or you can talk to Darkblight or whatever you want. Like, whatever you guys want to do, it's back to you. But I just wanted to let you know the important thing is, at any point in time, you can just wave your hand, and the four of you will no longer be on the sword, and that is, you can do that at your leisure.
I think we should try and talk.
Yeah, can we fix him?
Yeah.
Do you know how to raise people from the dead?
Maybe in this plane.
Maybe. It seems like you can do a lot of things, so like I don't feel like I'm out of line asking you to do that.
Yeah.
Don't know about that. Is he
yeah.
dead, or is he just?
Well,
There's a crumpled form of Darkblight
I'm
laying in the
going
middle
up to
of the
him and like trying to wake him up.
Yeah.
As you approach
Like, I'm
him,
gonna see
you see, as like he's laying on his side and he's just like this crumpled form. As you approach him, you see his face, and his eyes are open, and he's staring like infinitely out into nothing.
But
And
he's alive?
yeah, he's alive and he's awake. And in fact, as you cross his plane of vision, you see his eyes look to you, and he says, "I failed."
Aww.
Hey, it's okay, buddy. We all fail at things all the time.
I failed everyone.
No, no.
Well, no, I mean, we fixed it. We went back in time and stuff. It's all better.
The Knights Cosmic, they all survived.
I mean, define all.
Yeah.
I felt Serenarian to die in my hands as I killed her.
Yeah, you screwed up. I'm not gonna lie.
The power of this sword overtook everything that I was, and I gave in to its power. I asked it for more and more power, and it gave me infinite power until I was its slave, and I did everything it wanted. Everything that Stella Nova wanted me to do, I did.
Well,
I failed.
Sounds like we should avenge your friends.
yeah. I mean, the only way. You know what? What's in the past is in the past. The only way you can.
I like you say that. You said that Dynamo's like, I mean.
I like that you say that immediately after telling him that we went back to the past and fixed things and it was all okay.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, what's in the past is in the past. The only thing you can control is the future. So you got to make up for that stuff, right? You got to help us make it right. You got to help us.
Who are you?
Visitors.
I'm Starblight.
I would not take that name were I you.
Wow. That's who I am. I can't really control it.
Do you still look horrifying?
So the red lines have started to recede back.
Okay.
I'm
That
okay
probably
now.
helps him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the Blight Matrix is not saying anything. You like it's dead quiet in your head.
Hey, all right. Well, we could talk about my name later. Do you want out of here?
And go where?
Back to the castle.
The castle. The castle is Stella Nova's keep now. There's nothing.
It's not. No, we fixed it. We fixed the castle.
You've been to the castle?
Yeah.
You went to the castle?
Yes, we fixed the
Why
castle.
would you go there? The castle is where she lives. It's where she keeps all of her things. It's the seat of her power.
It's a long story, but I don't think she's there.
Yeah.
Because
We were brought there, and while we
So
were...
he's been looking the entire time at
Yeah.
Starblight because they were talking. You say that, and he turns and he looks at you, and in the process of doing so, he also sees Stella Nova, and he's like, "She's here!" And he looks at you, and he's like super terrified, and he's like crawling backwards as fast as he can away from you.
Okay. She's who fixed all this.
She's not. She's not Stella Nova. She's a different person, different entity.
Who is Stella Nova?
Stella Nova is she's just like you. She's a terrible destroyer of all things in the galaxy. And who is Stella Nova? You must be.
No.
No.
This is Stella Nova, and she's pretty great. She just did a bunch of really cool things that you should be appreciative of.
I am not aware of who Stella Nova is.
Yeah, he's
God.
super freaked out,
Crazy
super
the whole
afraid of
time.
her. Like, but at the same time, he seems not sure. He seems like, I mean, you do look different, but also like the same. I mean, that's the.
Hey, Stella, why don't you get us out of here so we can show him what we did to the castle?
Yeah.
That'll be good.
All right, you guys all appear back in the grand hall.
Yeah.
You appear in the grand hall, and the first thing you notice is that all of everything in the grand hall is silver and purple energy.
Shoot.
And you hear a voice behind you say, "Welcome home." We're gonna stop there.
Oh, no!
You took us back to your mom.
Oh my gosh.
Secret traitor the whole time.
You guys thought Adam was a secret traitor.
I didn't think he was a traitor. I just thought he was bad at stuff.
Wow.
Not a traitor, just an edgelord.
Can we get that on business cards for you?
Yes.
Like,
That's on my business card.
All right. How's everybody feeling?
Out of my depth.
Is anybody feeling super like at home and in their depth in this story? Like,
no, it's gonna be fine.
Listen,
All right,
I'm a
cool.
guy in a bronze suit.
yeah.
I know all about
like
family problems.
Yeah. Good.
What? Oh my god.
Are you gonna dress up as a Stella Nova for Sentinel Comics Live at
No.
Gen Con?
No, I'm not.
Are you gonna dress up as Sir Arton?
Yeah, I'm getting 2 more arms.
2 more
I'm
arms?
just gonna. I've been working on
Do
them.
the wire thing that people do that they're on the other.
No,
I can help you out with that.
I am none of those people though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dress up as a laser dragon. No.
Ugh.
Oh, sorry. So I'm gonna. Is it,
No. Well, I mean, maybe, but good ones.
So I'm curious to know what the chat thinks. I'm also curious to talk to you guys. So Paul right now has something that he wants to say from the chat, and then I'm going to come back to you guys, and then I'll go back to the chat again. So Paul, what is going on with the chat?
The chat's really excited about stuff. There's just one question that
Yeah.
they've been like trying to remember for the last hour, is to ask you what blood type the zesty blood
Oh my God.
dagger blood is.
Can we focus on important things? What type is it?
negative.
It's O negative.
Universal
Okay, good.
All right,
donor.
great.
Perfect.
Okay.
Now,
So
let's
chat,
talk
I'm going to
Oh,
say.
wait, is that a- yeah, so negative.
people are really excited about it.
Yeah, how you guys doing? How you guys doing?
I'm gonna solve all the world blood problems. Anyways,
I am very confused.
Yeah, that's fair. That's legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel pretty good.
Presumably I'm not in my suit now.
No, you are. You see the suit that's over in the corner,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you come out and you're not in your suit.
But it's still there.
It's still there. Yeah, you
Okay.
see it. You're yeah.
I mean,
Don't
given
worry,
that
Sus.
my stuff comes from the sword, do I look different also?
You don't look different. The blight matrix has receded,
Okay.
and it has been silent since
Right.
silent and like super silent, not just like waiting, but actually fully silent since she changed over the way the sword worked. But any more than that, we're gonna have to find out next time because we've just re-entered the real world, and that's where things really matter.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see what the state of things there is because at least before you've always had access to the sword while you were in the sword.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you can still use all your powers. You can't use the Starblight power specifically, but you can still use all your powers because you're inside it.
Yeah.
Now that you're outside it, it's interesting to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did any of our colors change?
All of them. You're just all orange now.
Oh God,
No.
that would be my nightmare.
Nope, you all look the same. The only thing that could look different, I mean, so Benjamin Biltmore's outside the suit,
Yeah.
and Adam and I are gonna have to
Talk about it.
figure out what's going on with him. So, A behind-the-scenes thing. It's fun because building Darkblight, Sir Archon. I just built him as like a nega Starblight. Like he's built on this. He does the same kinds of things you do. So he's like giving out hinders, messing with hinders, stealing boosts, stuff like that. So. Okay.
I'm feeling much more redeemed now, though.
Good.
Like I'm feeling way better. I feel like I have, like,
made a difference.
Yeah. I feel like I went on some sort of like internal journey as well throughout this process. That while it doesn't bring back the people that I lost, it made a significant difference in other people's lives and potentially saved other lives.
Well, you're starting to like embrace your role of self-sacrifice and defense.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so chat. We've got some stuff from the chat. Paul, what's going on here?
Just a few things. They're wondering if they notice that the sword looks any different.
They didn't see it.
They didn't see it. Okay.
When they came out of this, they arrived in the place. They're in the Great Hall. They're all facing towards the windows that look out towards space. They see purple and silver all around them. Presumably, the sword is somewhere behind them. I don't know, and they don't know what's behind them. We haven't turned to look that direction yet. The only thing is they see the castle's purple and silver, and that there was a voice that spoke to them that they did not recognize.
Yeah. They're also asking what everyone's favorite part of this session was.
Sugar hound.
Sugar hound, sure.
Hard sugar hound.
I know how to play the things you like.
I mean, my favorite thing was reaching out to control this thing and then like learning about learning exactly what's going on with all the different aspects of what makes my character work was interesting.
Yeah.
To me.
I really like the chargers and the art with that.
From last session?
Yeah, that gave me more like descriptive ways to use.
Oh,
my
you did cool
powers.
stuff with that.
Yeah.
Was there anything from
Dude, that
this
was
session?
awesome. It was like
the spear.
Yeah.
Things.
Was there anything from this particular session that jumped out at you?
Just using, I guess, like working with Violet Heart and trying to get back to Starblight.
I really liked seeing how my character works when my core values have been brought into question.
Yeah. When you're not playing to your principles.
Yeah.
Or rather, you have conflicting principles.
Yeah.
And that you're like, I want to defend everybody. Also, I want to investigate everything. Can't do both at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
And like last session, you didn't do both, and this session you kind of paid for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good job playing to character. I give you useless point.
Fake point. Yeah. Gotcha.
You guys got 3 hero points again this session. You guys
Yeah.
were pretty consistent about that. Good job.
I was gonna say, I like using taunting shriek.
Like I was trying, but I just could not make either of my principles
No,
work.
it's all right. Five is put as a limit because it's like I think reasonably you're going to get 2, 3, 4 in most sessions, and 5's there because like if you get more, if you're like really hounding after it and you get more than that, great, congratulations, you've done it more times than that. 5's the most you can get in a session, so you guys are on track.
So I think it seems like it's there to make it so you're not just spamming your principal abilities.
You can if you want, but like 5's
It's hard to though.
Yeah. If you're
I
playing
finally
your,
tapped exorcism,
Right.
and I've been trying to.
there hasn't been a lot
And
of
that's-
extra dimensional
yeah.
stuff up to now, but here you are in another dimension. Like
And I was like, well, yeah.
I still haven't used my
Clockwork
principle of the
is
lab.
hard for me to
I
get to
wouldn't
a lot.
call it a pocket dimension. I would call it a scabbard dimension. The chat, you had some questions.
Yeah, 2, one quick and one longer. One is people just want to see your shirt in more detail
Oh.
about what's going on.
It's my Ad-Aticorn.
Yeah.
It's a unicorn that happens to be an AT-AT with a little Death Star up here.
And
Yeah.
he has a mug of that too.
I also have a mug.
Drinking
I wanted
Is,
to.
is it not broken? I thought that one was the one that
No,
broke.
it's my other unicorn mug. that got
I
broken.
was saying earlier today, I was like, oh wait, I just noticed that today. And he needs a poster behind him so that he can stand in front of that drink.
He had it, and I was like, you're too matchy. Put it down.
The chat also wants to know what everyone's reactions are so that they can yell at you to remember them.
So
The thing is, you can't.
mine's the easiest. I have no reactions.
But you have an inherent.
I have an inherent, but like that comes up all the time. I use that all the time.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to see how the last session
Taunting
goes.
shriek.
Yeah.
Everyone remember for me, it's taunting
Your
shriek.
taunting shrieks are don't take damage.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Admittedly, I do tend to forget one of my reactions a lot.
Yeah.
I forget to use my calculated redirection a whole lot, and it's when I would be dealt damage. I may deal damage to a nearby target equal to the amount reduced by my kinetic dampener, which is one of my 2 abilities that reduces physical damage that I take.
And interesting, Stella Nova also has the same. She has Cosmic Physiology, which reduces damage she takes, and she has the same ability, but it's called Stellar Transference.
Yeah.
Because you're renamed abilities. So you two both have a similar, like, we reduce damage to ourselves and can output damage as a result if we use our reactions.
I just tend to forget that. It's because, like, actually taking physical damage in this game has been it's been fairly common.
It happens. It happens in most combats.
Yeah.
So.
And I haven't had a chance to use my other reaction at all because it deals entirely with electricity damage.
Right. And that hasn't come up.
That hasn't come up at all.
Yeah, I only gave myself 1.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for playing. I feel real good about how that session went. You guys did a bunch of stuff. You changed the world. You changed a sword, and you've returned to the castle that you cleansed. And it's definitely fine because you cleansed it. So good job. Good work.
Definitely totally fine. Nothing wrong. Nothing weird about it.
Yeah.
So we'll see everybody at Gen Con.
See you then. Big sure, if you're going to go to Gen Con, come visit us for the Sentinel Comics Live, the final session of this. It's Saturday night. We still have tickets available. Come and watch that session. We'll take tickets at the door. We take generics. It'll be great. But
come say hi to us.
Yeah.
Also
We'll be in the
stop
booth.
by.
Come see the booth. The booth number is
1343.
and the room number is
140-141.
140, 141. Great. Yeah. Come see us in those places, and
That's how I had
we'll
to say it. I don't
see you at Gen Con.
Bye.